Here we go. We are back once again with another episode of the Uncivilized Arts podcast. I'm your host, Hazan, but I go by Bandit Hayes in the online space. And today we are talking about a little movie. I don't know if you've heard of it, called K-pop Demon Hunters. I mean, it came out a little while ago. I'm not sure anybody watched it, but we're going to be talking about that. And I'm joined by my favoritists, internet peoples, Lady Celeste Orchid, Sweet Buzz of Sweet Buzz Music. How's everybody doing today? I mean, I know you told me earlier off recording, but we got to ask. How you doing today, sweets?
I'm hanging in there, man. Hanging in there, but good.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And how you doing, Lady Celeste Orchid?
Oh, feeling awesome, having a good time. I am excited for this topic.
Indeed. Well, so there's a lot to talk about, and a lot's been happening since it's been released, and a lot to get into. So yeah, we're going to be talking about K-pop Demon Hunters. We're going to get into all kinds of spoilers and theories and all kinds of stuff later on. We'll give you a spoiler warning a bit later for that. Before that, though, we'll go maybe just a little kind of brief non-spoiler review type thing, just to go over a few, brief opinions of it, without any major spoilers in that little section there. But before that, we've got to catch ourselves up. So, what have you been up to? Actually, what was our last podcast? It was 3 weeks ago,
It was
3 4 weeks ago.
Ironheart.
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago. I think we've done alright in keeping pretty regular. So yeah, what's been going on in Lady Celeste's life in the last few weeks? Well, not maybe
Oh,
not, you don't have to go into too much.
I didn't know, so I just got off of a convention high, quote unquote. Like, I went to an event called FanCon Aarhus, and I had so much fun. I had a VIP status, so I was there providing entertainment such as panels, and I also had my business there, Bunny of the Moon, and it was just a really excellent turnout. I met so many new people. A lot of people were like, "Oh my God, you're so cool!" Because I cosplayed as Rumi from K-pop Demon Hunters, and I did a panel on how to start cosplaying from noob to pro level being like really good at making things yourself as opposed to just buying it. And then I had a panel on mental health and cosplay because it's not talked about enough, or there's a lot of people who think like, oh, it's all but sunshine and rainbows when it comes to like cosplaying. Like, it's going to be fine, it's going to be perfect. But no one actually gets to talk about like the anxiety and stresses that are next to it. And there were quite a few people that were so happy to have a panel that addressed, like, hey, I used to have this problem of XYZ with cosplaying, or even just in general. And there's a lot of people on the neurodivergent spectrum that just was really suffering in silence, not knowing, like, hey, it's okay to like not cosplay, or if you're having problems with the cosplay and you just really feel upset, but you feel like you should force yourself to finish it. It's like, no, it's okay. You don't have to finish a cosplay, and if it's not up to your standards, like, you don't have to rush it. I do a lot of convention crunching with costumes and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, for someone that's been cosplaying about 20 years, if not the legit number of 20 years, I think I have a lot to say on, hey, I know about a lot of stress when it comes to cosplay, but it was just really cool because it was an open forum. So I let people share their experiences and stories, as long as like PG-13. The first guy that came to the mic that wanted to like share their story, it turned out to be a very inappropriate one. So we're like, yeah, let's just leave it that there's stress with friends when it comes to I was like, there's kids in the audience. So yeah, that's what we're gonna go with. He's like, how much can I curse? I'm like, let's not. And I'm like, because there's children. And actually, I got a really new big fan of a little kid. He's like, my parents are gonna let me cosplay, and I can't wait to do it. And yeah, I'm not gonna use a hot glue gun without their permission. I'm like, God, you're like 6. I don't like to burning yourself because some crazy Asian at an anime con was all like, you need to start doing cosplay hardcore and use a glue gun. At least that's the bare minimum. Have a glue gun, get your stuff together. But it's really exciting. And someone actually started crying when they met me after the panel. And it was just so sweet because they're like, I feel really safe and stuff. So I'm on high. And I had so many people purchase from my business, and it was just really a wonderful time. Yeah, so I'll be back next year. We already established that. And was it like a ranger meeting? Like when I was talking to staff, they're like, yeah, we got a lot of good feedback from you. We want you back for next year. I'm like, that's right.
Awesome. Awesome.
Oh my
yeah.
god. Okay, wait.
Big
Last
things
thing.
are
I'm
going.
so sorry. I'm taking like a lot of time on this, but really quick. I created a
good.
game show called Who Is That? And it was a little trial test run, but it went so well. A lot of people came, and I had standing room only. And I worked out the kinks, but a lot of people loved it. Everyone got prizes that they liked, and I can't wait to do more of it. So it's a game where it's a zoomed in image, like say it's like K-pop Demon Hunters, right? It's one of the characters, and I zoom in on like their belt, and it's like you have to tell me which character it is, and if you can guess it, you win a point. The person with the most points at the end of the round gets to win a prize. I was gonna make it like a basketball tree system, and I was like, no. They gave me so many prizes, and there was like not enough topics. So I was like, okay, top 2 people that scored the most gets like a luxury prize, and then the other people get like a smaller prize, and then participation award was like a sticker. So had lots of prizes to give away, very positive, and I'm a very good game show host. Next time I should write down the answers so I don't forget what I
Oh
made.
yeah, that might come in handy.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll be fine. After like the 3rd one, I was like, I totally don't know who this character is. I was like, yes, I think you're right. So yeah, it was just
Wait,
a
a game show.
really.
So is this on TV or like on YouTube or something?
No, I did this at an anime convention. Well, it's not just anime; it's called FanCon. But I did this at the convention. It was a event, and people came to my event. Luckily,
Okay.
I
Okay.
hype it up a bit, so people got some cool stuff, and I even had like some prizes because I wanted to sponsor it too. So my friend Empress Luxvia, she sponsored a bit. Aesthetic Anime came in and sponsored. The bubble tea people threw in some gift cards too, and then I had one. So we had over 4 sponsors for like 8 games. I'm like, dude, this is way too much. Like, what am I supposed to do? Award people for just sitting in the hot seat? But I also wanted
Yes.
crowd participation. So there was people who didn't go in the hot seat that still. No, that's not true. I think I got everyone who came into that.
Okay. So, Tweets.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Shit,
Cell has
it
frozen.
froze on her
I
end
think.
for some reason.
Dang. So technical difficulties. Cell just froze up. I'm not sure if she's aware she's frozen up, but she has. Let me just send her a message.
To just like leave and then come back again.
Yeah. Okay. Well, while doing that, then. So sweet. What's you been up to the last few weeks?
I got to see Superman
Okay.
and
Cool.
Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah.
Just for fun, which one do you think I like more? Just by knowing me.
All right. So between let's see, just need to write down real quick actually. Time of when all some of this stuff is happening, so I could do something later. All right. So between Superman and Fantastic Four, which one did you like more? I'm gonna say you probably like Superman more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Easily. Fantastic Four was not bad. It's just, at the end of it, I was like, that's it. It reminded me of the meme from The Simpsons with Krusty the Clown when he's like, "What the hell was that?" That's how I felt at the end of the movie. I was like, "That's it. This is what we were waiting for." And then they had the little teaser in the post credits. I was like, "What?" And then that was the first one. The second one was like, you waited even longer just for that when you could have just put that shit at the beginning of the fucking movie. Yeah, man, I did not dislike the movie, but I was like, this, what the fuck, guys? Like, every damn Fantastic Four movie you got is just disappointing. Disappointing. And I even set my expectations low for that movie. I said, no,
Mm.
you guys are not going to get me again. And they fucking got me. They got me. I felt like Light in Death Note. Every time when L did some shit, he's like, damn it, he got me. That's how I felt. I was like, I can't believe this. I set my expectations so low, and you guys still disappointed me. But it's not a bad movie. It's just don't pay money to go and see it. Pirate that shit. I know I'm not supposed to be promoting that, but fuck that. Pirate that shit or wait for it to get on Disney Plus if you already have a subscription. Do not get a subscription just to see it. It's not worth it. Trust me. Unless you're like a super Fantastic Four movie fan, I mean Fantastic Four fan or whatever. No. What the fuck? Superman, on the other hand, set my expectations low because I'm not a Superman fan. But I am a James Gunn fan. And man, this movie had it. Superman was fun. It was enjoyable. It was lighthearted the way Superman is supposed to be. Even when they don't get me wrong, it's not flawless. It's not perfect. I give it like an enthusiastic 7 or 8 out of 10, right? And I would go ahead and see it again. You know, it's lighthearted the way Superman is supposed to be. It reminded me of when I was a kid and I used to watch the Adventures of Superman, the animated series, and I enjoyed it. Even though I wasn't a Superman fan, I preferred Batman, but because they had crossovers, I would still watch Superman. And I never disliked it. I never hated Superman. And this felt like it. It didn't feel, not to shell on Zack Snyder so much, but that gloomy ass Superman and everything, that's what turned me away from it. Superman is supposed to be filled with hope and just colors and everything. He's the opposite of Batman. He's supposed to make you feel like everything is going to be okay. And that's it. Not just because he's Superman, but because of how he carries himself. It was no crazy sad moments in this. This was lighthearted. It was hard hitting. It was fun. You know, and I have complaints about it, but honestly, those complaints are pale in comparison to what came out of everything as a whole. I had fun with that movie. That movie, it was enjoyable. It was worth paying money and going to the theater and sitting there for those couple of hours or whatever. Well, less than a couple of hours and watching it. And that's what you're supposed to enjoy. Fantastic Four could kiss my ass. Okay? That was not worth it. I could have watched that shit on a fucking bootleg at home, and that's it. Okay?
Yeah, I
Borderline
mean,
pissing me off when I think about
I don't know if I
it.
thought it was that. I mean, I would say I enjoyed Fantastic Four. If I had to pick between Fantastic Four and Superman as to which one I enjoyed more, yeah, I'd probably go with Superman as well. But I thought Fantastic Four was fine for what it was. I didn't see the Fox Fantastic Four movies like back in the early 2000s. I did see when they rebooted it with Miles Teller and Michael B.
Michael B.
Jordan.
Jordan.
And I thought that was, it had its charm, but nothing to rush, to rave about. And yeah, this one kind of the same. It had some cool moments. I thought the characters worked well together. I thought the story was pretty interesting. Um, it wasn't necessarily fantastic, but it certainly wasn't bad in my opinion. Um, and yeah, I just thought it was a fine, okay movie in the end. It was but yeah, if I had to pick between the two, I'd say I personally liked Superman more because, yeah, like you say, it was a very enjoyable film, but it's also a very deep and multi-layered film at the same time as well, you know. And yeah, it just did a lot with the time it had. Um,
Mhm.
Fantastic Four, did some stuff, maybe not as much, but
Man.
it did some stuff.
Yo, Fantastic Four didn't do shit. Okay, let me tell you, the most excitement you get out of that fucking film, right? At least, all right. So when I'm speaking, I'm not talking about in general. I'm talking about for me.
There we go.
The most excitement that I got from that fucking film. Welcome back.
You back?
Is
Hi.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
beginning
we're just talking
when they
about
has
Fantastic Four and
those
Superman real
moments.
quick, by the way. Just so you know.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, like so my not to cut you off, Bundy. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, my computer completely lost internet, so I'm on my phone, which is not fun, but that's okay.
Oof.
We're back. We were trying to figure it out, and yeah, just to be safe, we're gonna stick with the phone somehow.
All right.
Hopefully, you have a phone
Um,
stand.
where's the time? Here goes 16.
I do somewhere, but I don't. I'm trying to charge my phone, so it doesn't love it.
Damn.
All right.
But yeah, Fantastic
Okay.
Four, most disappointing movie I've seen this year. Again, it's not bad, but honestly, that should have that could have just went straight to TV, and I would have been like, oh, okay, I can see why, because nothing really happened. They had a plot point, but it was like you got Galactus, who's essentially stopped when you think about it by just Sue Storm. And don't get me wrong, Sue Storm is strong, she's powerful, but this is, Fantastic Four. So if Sue Strong could go ahead and handle him, then that means the entire team should have took his ass out, right? But instead, it was like sorry, I'm going into the plot. I shouldn't. But anyway, main point. That movie was disappointing. Mr. Fantastic was barely fantastic. Okay, that motherfucker barely stretched. Okay, barely.
They stretched that movie thin then.
I did more stretching than Mr. Fantastic, sitting there in the theater trying to stay awake. Okay, but at least with Superman, remember when we were doing the Ironheart recording, I had doubts about Lex Luthor, the guy that they chose from, because he looks weird.
Yeah.
I still don't like the design.
Yeah, Beast.
But
that's not his name.
Motherfucker, that actor was good. That actor was good, and I love the fighting scene, the way
Nicholas
he
Hoult,
commanded Ultraman, and kept saying 1A, 1A, 2B, and all. Yo, that shit was fun. That's how you have fun. This is a comic book movie. Superman was. That's enjoyable. That's exciting. That's something where it's like, I took my money and my time, traveled to the theater, sat there for hours in this cold ass dark theater with a bunch of strangers, and I watched this film and I had fun. Fantastic Four, no. That's all I gotta say.
The not so Fantastic Four, basically.
Man, that shit was just 4. Well, 4. Like, damn.
Yeah, actually, just real quick, actually. That's why I say real quick, we'll see. But yeah, with Pedro Pascal, I've seen this come up a few times. Let's see what you guys think of this. But there seems to be a number of... I like him too. He's a good actor. And I think he's doing very well for himself right now. But it does seem to be like a few things I've seen people talk about Pedro Pascal fatigue. Because he's doing a lot of movies and TV shows at the moment. He's in a lot of stuff. That's not deniable. He's in a lot of stuff. But yes. I've seen quite a few people talking about this whole idea of like being sick of seeing him so much and stuff like that. Do you guys have any thoughts on that sort of thing? Or have you seen any kind of comments flying over the internet? Or am I just venturing into the wrong side of the internet?
I think it's kind of like the Rock syndrome when Rock was in every single thing within the next like movie blockbuster, and he had like a series going on. I think it was Suits. And it's just like he's getting every job that he can get his hands on. And it's just like, yeah, it's kind of that like actor fatigue. Same with Tom Holland that I had. The fact that he was cast as freaking Uncharted Nathan Drake when no.
That was wild.
Like he doesn't have the image. And then you got Mark Wahlberg, who looks basically like the dude. And so I'm just saying there is something called actor fatigue. We're getting kind of annoyed seeing him everywhere. It's a little like, come on, like let the guy like at least do the releases later, so it's not just like bam 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 bam. And so it's like it's okay. Like I actually have not watched any of his content. Like, is that ironic or what? So Yeah, it was like, wow, the Mandalorian. I'm like, that's cool. Guess who hasn't watched that?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not touch that stuff. Like him and Fantastic Four. I'm like, I thought Mr. Fantastic's supposed to be kind of suave looking. Like, I'm not saying he's not an attractive guy, but I'm like, the original cast with Jessica Alba and Chris Evans, I was like, they kind of hit the mark with that. And for
Mhm.
me, seeing all these other people do Fantastic Four, I'm like, I don't think that first class was really that bad. Like we're going back to the X-Men first class, like the original X-Men people and Deadpool when it was like, But Pedro, I think, yeah, PLA just getting burnt out and seeing him do all these things. And it's just like, there's other actors out there starving. So right now he's Hollywood's it guy.
Mhm.
And he's just taking all the jobs that he can get because at a certain point, once you say no, you can steamroll quickly to the bottom and not have any jobs. Look at what happened to Macaulay Culkin. At a certain point, he grew out of his childlike innocence, and then you don't have jobs. So then what do you do?
Mhm.
So that's my thoughts.
What do you think of it, Sweet Bundy, about Pedro Pascal fatigue? Are you feeling it? Is that something that you've seen around on the nets? People talking about it. Do you have any thoughts on that sort of thing?
I saw people talking about it, but and I understand, right? If it's an actor that just doesn't fit roles. Like for example, when you said Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, hit the nail on the head. When I love Tom Holland, right? But when I saw him as Nathan Drake, I'm like, no, what are you doing? No. And I feel like they set up actors for failure sometimes because they're so quick to try to do a cash grab on their name rather than really find out if this is the role for them. And when you do that, and you're shoehorning these actors into so many things, that could go ahead and cause this kind of reaction. For me, personally, yeah, I've seen him in a lot of stuff lately. And I think, for as a Mr. Fantastic, he fits that role, like especially in this film. Even though I didn't like it, he fits that role. Like I like the way how he, for the time period that they were trying to do that whole kind of pseudo 1950s or whatever type of thing. It fit. Like he did really well. It's just the content itself that I had a problem with. Me personally, I'm fine with an actor being used in things. It's just that uh we have to make sure, are they the best fit for this role, or are we just using them? Are we having a situation where we have a Denzel Washington, right, where it's like you can't picture anybody else playing this certain role, like in Training Day when Denzel Washington was in a shit ton of movies at that point already, or are we having another Tom Holland situation? We're just trying to use him for his popularity. And that's where we have to really like put our foot down and find out what we're doing with this guy. Me, I feel like he's good as Mr. Fantastic, but the movie sucked.
Both made good points. I think when it comes down to it, is the actor right for the role? Are they doing what they're supposed to do? Can they portray the character as well as they need to, and that kind of thing? And if they're doing so, then hey, fair play to him. If he's able to pull it off in this many movies and this many TV shows and able to do the role really well, then it just is what it is. And to what you said, Sel, about yeah, at that point where you say no, and it might be that one no leads to a million people just turn it, not even looking in your direction anymore. But I was looking at his career on the movie database, and he's been acting for a long time. Like he's been acting since
Hmm.
like the 90s, like mid 90s or so. And there was a long period of time where he'd be like in a TV show here or maybe a small movie role there, and things like that. And it's only really in the last maybe, let's say, 7 to 10 years where he started to become more and more frequent, and maybe in the last probably about 3 4 years or so where he's been really kind of frequent. you
Yeah, I
know
feel like
um
Narcos is what blew him up.
yeah, so like around, I think it was about 2019 or so when it looked like it kind of blew up, or around about then, say 2018 2019. What was Narcos? That was 2017, wasn't it?
Yeah,
What?
around that era.
Yeah.
Which movie?
Narcos, the
Narcos.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't watch that. Again,
Yeah.
That's a
Heard of
good
it.
show.
But
I
yeah,
mean, he's not even one of the main characters, really. It's about Pablo Escobar,
but yeah,
drug kingpin.
no, I understand who that is. That's not high on my list to do, but cool. Thank you for the
yeah.
educational content right now. I will not watch it right now.
But yeah, it
Guess
was
I'm
around
gonna go
about
watch
that
Blu-ray.
time. Around about time is when he started to kind of really kind of blow up, and of course, the last few years where he's done like so many different stuff, and he's still got other movies and shows that are still to come. But the way I'm looking
Mhm.
at it is like fair play to him. I mean, he's been doing it a long time. He's got to this point where he is in demand. Take full advantage of it. I mean, he's not married. He doesn't have kids, at least according to the movie database. Unless he's secretly married. I don't know. People do whatever. Hollywood's a weird place. But according to the movie database, he's not married, doesn't have kids, so he doesn't have that commitment. So yeah, if you've got the time, you've got the energy and the will, and you're able to do it, and you're doing it well enough where people want you to do more of it, keep going. Keep going, because you never know how long the train the roller coaster is going to ride, as they say. Like, you never know when your 15 minutes is going to be up. So like, for as long as you can ride that horse, ride that horse. And yeah, some
Mhm.
people might feel, oh, I'm sick of you, da da da. And I guess if that sort of thing gets big enough, then maybe people don't cost them as much if they stop turning up to the movies. But as long as people keep turning up, who cares about what people complain about the internet? Are you still turning up to see the movies? And if that's the case, and he's got some Marvel movies coming up, so people are turning up for those, whether they like it or not, they're turning up for those. So yeah, the way I see it is like, I mean, I guess from an individual point of view, if you're not a fan of it so much, if you don't really feel he's doing a good job, then maybe I guess you don't want to see him in so many things. But for me, I feel like he's doing really well in the roles that he's been, at least ones that I've seen anyway. I don't believe I've seen him do the one he did in Wonder Woman. Kind of sucks, I ain't gonna lie. That movie was so bad. No,
He was in
nobody did
Wonder
well in that
Woman?
movie.
What movie?
What?
Yeah, Wonder Woman 2. That movie was so bad.
Oh, I mean, that
Oh,
movie
well,
was bad
better.
in general.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Again, I
nobody
didn't see
came out
that
looking
one.
good in that movie. Nobody. But
That one
apart
you
from
don't
that,
need to see. That
yeah,
one was
apart
trash.
from that,
Oh my
apart
god.
from that, I think he's done really well in the film, in the stuff that I've seen him in. So yeah, big
Yeah.
up Pedro Pascal, and keep going for as long as you can keep going. But yeah, okay. So what have I been doing then? I did watch some Fantastic Four. I don't think you heard it because of the technical issues. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was okay. Not brilliant, but it's alright, I liked it more than Sweet Bundy did, at least, anyway.
You're damn right.
Elsa, what else? Yeah, I'll finish playing Batman. I think I talked about playing Batman in the last podcast. So yeah, finished playing Batman Arkham Asylum. And yeah, it was a cool game. I enjoyed it, but I would just say that I didn't feel it was like the master, because I remember playing it the first time round. I remember feeling like, oh, this is an amazing, brilliant masterpiece game. It was like legit amongst my favorite experiences at the time. And 16 years later, playing it again, it's still a good game. Like, it's not bad, but it does feel dated. And I think part of the reason for that is because so many games since then have kind of taken that formula and kind of done what they did, and improved on it in various ways. And I guess once you get used to be getting steak, you know what I mean, you go back to the original steak, and it's just steak. It's not bad, but it's regular steak. So but yeah, I think you still got to put some respect on its name, because if it wasn't for that game, we might not have other games that have that you use kind of similar techniques and things like that. So yeah, as much as it wasn't the masterpiece that I remember playing it all these years later again, yeah, you still got to put some respect on Batman's name. You know what I mean? Because in the day, he's Batman. So yeah.
Well, I think it's also because like building off of what you just said, it's for what it was when it came out. It was
Yeah,
groundbreaking. It was the fact that it was
yeah,
one of the first to do what it was doing. Well, a lot of things that it does, that a lot of games borrowed from.
yes,
Um,
yeah,
but even back then, the ending was disappointing. Just for clarification, everybody was like, I don't know why it ended like that, but okay.
You know what?
Probably because production ran out of time and was like, ship it
Yeah.
with the bad ending. Who cares? We gotta make money now. We're bleeding. We're bleeding out, man. We need money.
It was
There's
such a
probably
weird
something like
ending
that.
because like it turned so it looks like it's gonna be a big finale with just Joker and Batman. And it is that, but Joker ends up injecting himself with the shit that Bane uses, and
Oh,
he becomes this
Yeah, he
like
becomes like Mecha
super
Joker,
Joker with a mohawk
Super
and
Joker.
bones sticking out. And he's like
Yeah, yeah,
giant,
yeah.
and it's fucking weird.
You know, I
yeah.
would
Again, I
say,
didn't play that. I had a chance, but I decided not to, and I don't talk to that person. So, whoops.
oh, fair enough. I mean, I would say I don't
It's
remember
like
specifically what I thought of the ending when I played it originally. I remember feeling the whole game was brilliant, but I don't remember specifically what I thought the ending. I would say playing it again recently, yeah, the ending's not. I mean, there's a lot of things, you know, like games just do lots of stuff that don't make sense. You know, that whole game logic thing, right?
Mhm.
Batman Arkham Asylum has loads of that, and of course, this is stuff that you notice at the time, but by now it just it stands out so much. But yeah, the ending, in my opinion, especially playing it now, yeah,
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 it was
it
really out
wasn't.
of place.
It was just a
But it
bit
didn't ruin
silly.
the game for me.
Oh no, no, no! It doesn't
Yeah.
ruin the game, but it's just a bit silly that you put the exploding gel on your hand and you punch Joker to knock him out. And it's like, wait a minute, like, why doesn't that exploding gel blow up your hand?
Yeah.
It's literally
Yeah.
on your glove.
or
You
like
use
melt
this,
it or something. I don't know. It
yeah,
sounds
you
kind of
using this.
silly.
Well,
Something.
yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
even
you're using
think
this thing to like
harm.
blow up rocks, like brick walls, and because you use exploding gels to blow up brick walls throughout the
Yeah.
game, and so this thing can blow up concrete walls. You had it directly on your hand, and your hand's fine, just like a little bit of a dent in your back glove. And they're like, no, your hand should be gone. Like you should have no
Plus,
right
it
to
didn't
arm
kill
right now.
Joker. That honestly, it
Well,
should
it
have
did
killed
actually kill him. It
Joker.
just knocked him out.
Yeah, it should have killed him though.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it's
well,
not
yeah,
like
it
he had
should
a
have
whole
killed
bunch of
him.
muscle on his fucking head. His
That should
head
have
was the
taken off
smallest
his
thing on him.
whole, like, at least half of
That
his
shit should
face
have
or
killed him.
something. You know, like
Exactly.
Missing cheekbone, kind of like Two-Face. Yeah, let's go.
or even that. Or even
yeah.
that. Yo, all it did was knock his teeth out.
The other thing is like,
I mean, what it's like wearing a brass knuckle. That's not. Yeah, no. You know,
well, yeah,
if you want to
wear
just
a
wear a
brass
brass
knuckle,
knuckle, wear
that
a
can
brass
hurt you if
knuckle.
you hit somebody with that. You know, you
Yeah,
got a brass knuckle and yeah, you hit somebody with it. That can still hurt you. You know what I mean? Like exploding gel. Come on, man. Like,
But
dude,
still, with all that said, as goofy as that ending was, it was still an iconic game. Still, even
oh for
to this
sure,
day,
for
because
sure.
for the first time players, for that, I'm not going to say specifically what, but remember, Scarecrow does something that when that first ever happened, you might know what I'm talking about if you think about it. I don't want to say what it was, but when that first ever happened, I'm telling you, especially back then, everybody was having a heart attack. Like, I cannot believe this shit is happening right now.
Yo,
Do
the
you know what I'm talking about?
scarecrow
Don't
bits.
say what it is.
Well,
yeah. I
I
didn't
mean, I
play
know
it
the
yet.
scarecrow bits. I'm not sure which one you're specifically thinking of,
There's
but yeah,
one major one. Fuck it, I'll say it. Say it.
Say it. Say it. Yes. Say it.
So
I'm a hype beast.
it's
Say
16
it.
years later. We're
during
fine.
so as you already know, Celeste, even without playing the game, Scarecrow uses the fear toxin, and
Yeah.
that starts to affect Batman over the course of the game.
Yes.
And you get little subtle hints, like Batman will start coughing or something. But if you're not paying attention, you're not really caring. That's it. So out of nowhere, while you're playing the game, it starts glitching, right? Like how it used to do back then. If the disc is damaged, it will just glitch. Like the screen will fuck up and everything. It did all of that, and then started the game over, like from the very beginning. So back then, normally the normal reaction, my reaction was, "Holy shit! I just lost hours of my fucking gameplay." But as it starts to go on and continues, you notice that, oh, this is a fucking illusion, because Joker is playing the role of Batman and Batman's playing the role of Joker. Joker's taking Batman to the Arkham Asylum and all that shit, and then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah,
killed.
yeah.
Yeah, you go through this whole crazy scenario. And what I loved about that is that it became truly immersive because it fucked with you, the player. You're not just watching a story anymore. You got really involved because now you're tricked too. Because when that happened to me, I was about to lose my shit because I play up to that point. You're like hours in already, like 2 hours, 3 hours in. Imagine all that shit just gone. And it happened with some games like that back then, where you
Oh,
just lose fucking game data. Yeah.
Yeah, trust. Because that okay, so I didn't play Arkham, but I did play the ever loving fucking shit out of PS1's classic Metal Gear Solid, and
Yeah,
it's
they did that
exactly
sort. So
the
yeah,
Psycho
yeah,
Mantis.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So yeah, I know exactly what the feeling's like without playing it, and that was so groundbreaking. I know that in future iterations of gaming, as a kind of like person that worked on it, I think they prevented you from being able, like, you have to switch the slot because game controllers became what is this called? Uh cordless. So
Mhm.
it's not really possible to do that. So there's things that you have to be able to submit uh to be able to like launch your game. And one of them is like you can't have like controller problem XYZ kind of thing when doing that. So that's why we don't see a lot of games being able to do the Psycho Mantis trick of like, oh, you had to take the controller stick out and put it in the other controller stick, and then I could be able to play the game. So like Batman being able to do something along those lines, most games cannot do that kind of shit because there are
Yeah.
rules now. So you can't fuck with
Mm.
characters. But yeah, another game semi similar to that fucks with characters or that they troll their user base, I would say
Mhm.
is like Nier, Automata.
Right,
Automata.
Oh,
not played it, but I know
yes.
the one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
last few years I think that came out,
Oh yeah, it's a really old game, but
or
there's
maybe
so
more than
many
that. Maybe
hidden
more than a few
Easter
years
eggs.
ago.
Like
Yeah, so
2016.
they the creator, I forgot how to say his name, Moon guy with the big smile. He had put in so many special like little things for players to find that after the game's release, it took like I think it was 2 years ago, they finally found the last special like in-game like Easter egg kind of thing of like the player
Mhm.
stuff. And it's just like, no, I've got to troll you guys. There's got to be this. And it's just like, you have to go directly to this spot, like click X 3 times, spin around, and then like this menu will pop up kind of thing. Or like, and it's like, that's what happens. Ha 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 ha. But, I'm going to say it. I didn't play the game, but I heard
Ah,
it.
I was hoping that you played
What?
it because I was going to talk about the ending. So you actually saw that special ending.
Yeah, if you want to save people, you got to sacrifice your entire
Yes.
save data. That is
Yes.
so meta.
Yo.
Like, I can't believe. Like, I was like, okay, we're gonna watch this let's play. Like, I got a lot of stuff to do. I don't get to like sit and play like copious amounts of hours for an RPG. So I'm like, oh, okay, what's going on here? And it's like, oh my god, oh, and it's like, and it's like, oh, bye-bye, save data. And then you see all the files like being deleted one by one by one. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Now
Oh,
guess
that is
what?
yeah.
madness.
So
I
like,
didn't do that shit. I said fuck them. And here's another thing too. Every
horrible.
time when you get hit, you lose somebody else's save data that they put up there. So you get to see the name of the person, the user or the player, and you get to see it like evaporate each time you get hit or something like that. Basically you're using them to continue on and try to beat the game. And then they ask me, hey, do you want to be one of the people that help? Nah, fuck them. And then you get to leave a message. A message of like hope or despair. I left despair. I said, well, this is the end, and that is it.
Oh, that sounds crazy though.
That's very
Like,
nihilistic. But yeah,
mate,
It is.
play it. Play it. I don't have time to play it. I am working on that 2B cosplay. I have it somewhere. I like bought one off my friend and I'm making it better. It's gonna take a dick year. But 1000% that game is like like very, very popular for a reason.
Yes, very iconic.
I
Extremely.
think I need to play this
But
game still. Like,
it takes a long
this is
time
the
to
one
beat
that
it.
I need to make time for a certain because that sounds mad. That
It's
sounds
it's a very bleak and nihilistic game, but it's just
Mhm.
like it doesn't have to be if you choose the right options and XYZ. you know, like humanity's
Mhm.
kind of like eradicated, and you have these two robots going down to like see what's going on with Earth or something.
And it's a very beautiful game, down to the music, the voice acting, everything. They have
Like
the carnival out. If you remember seeing that whole sequence, like where I don't even know if I don't know how to say it. It's not a sequence, but it's an area where you go to the carnival and they start playing the music. Man, that
it's
game,
just engrossing. It really like
yeah,
sets the mood and tone. Cause like I forget, is her name Mistress of Puppets or like the Lady of Dolls? Do you know who I'm talking about? She's got all those little dolls. You have to fight her. She's like a mask thing.
yeah.
God, that
But I don't remember the name because
okay, but
the ending pissed me off so much. So for years, even after being the game, I forgot how much I enjoyed it until I went back and watched my actual playthrough of it or whatever that I have recorded somewhere. That I was like, oh shit. I actually enjoyed the game. Like I was actually having fun with it. I loved this part. I forgot about this part because I was so mad about that ending.
oof, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well,
And you know, it's
Bandit,
another funny part.
Mr. Rumi has some homework to do tonight.
Yo,
For real, for real. I'm
Like, I
looking it
watch
up on
Let's
Steam
Plays.
right
I don't
now.
have
It's like
time.
30 quid. I'm like, you know what? It's a little bit more than I like to spend on games. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm a cheapskate these days. But I don't know, man. I might have to pull a trigger on this one still. I might have to
It's
pull a
worth the
trigger on
quid.
this one.
It is worth the money because like just the lore, the story, like it's beautiful music. It's
Mhm.
really well done. So there's a reason why it's well executed. I actually like know the voice actress for the main character. She's so cool. So like yeah, her name's Kira Buckland. So she's really cool. Shout out, you did a great job to that. Everyone in the cast did it so good. It's like
Yeah,
you
that's
know
some
you get
great
good
voice
games,
acting.
and when you have good voice acting, it just enhances it. And it's
Mhm.
just like the cast was so good. So yeah, I may not have played the game, but watched a let's play. But it, you know, I got kids now. I got a business I got to run. I can't. I'm one woman show. But
Yeah.
yeah, totally get it.
Time is yeah. Was it time is fleeting, as they say? Is that the right one? Time is
Let's not
precious.
say it too much. You know, after saying Nier Automata and like Mr. Sweet Bundy's little nihilistic comment of, "Yep, that's all you get."
Like, I don't know if I'd want. Was it you said every time you get hit, somebody loses their save file?
Yeah.
And I don't know if I want my save file to randomly delete it because somebody else got hit though.
It honestly, you know, from my experience, it was because I take blame for how, I experienced the game at that time for the ending. It's one of those games where you don't want to take a long break in between. I ended up getting to a point, I forgot what, I don't know if it was just shit in my life or whatever, but whatever happened, it stopped me from playing the game for a very long time. And then I went back to it to finish it. And my whole goal at that point was just to beat it. So the ending is very, like, depending on which ending you go for, it can be very long. And I'm impatient person naturally. So with my goal is to beat this game, I forgot about, the story up to that point, except for the main parts. So you break away from like this whole quote unquote bond that you're having with these characters and everything. So I had to disconnect. At that point, I didn't give a fuck. But I feel like if you don't do that and you play the game as it intended full through without long ass breaks like I did, you're going to have a deeper connection and you're going to have a deeper appreciation and understand that these players are people that took the time and built up to this point like you did. And then they decided to help you out. And that's something that I haven't heard any other game doing about. And it took me years and years and years to finally appreciate what they were trying to do with that. Because really think about it, like how you guys have lives and everything and all that. People took time to get to the point of this game, hours and hours of gameplay, and they said, I'm gonna help you out and sacrifice my game data. I'm not all those hours gone. And it's just to help you get one extra hit point. That's fucking crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming from the
I'll take
developer
the help. I don't know
standpoint.
if I want to be helping
I
people.
have no
I might
clue
be
how they could
selfish.
have tested that. Like coming from quality assurance, like if I had to playtest that game, I would probably be really fucked up. You know, that'd be fucked up, man. It's like, how am I supposed to create fake save data, get hit, and make sure that save data gets deleted? I'm like, oh no, what if it's not? I don't know. You know, like how the fuck is this gonna work? How is it supposed to delete the data? And I'm like, you know, there's some things that I'm just like, I think I gotta go deeper. And maybe he's got connections at like Sony, you know. I don't know. Like it is a PS only platform, right? No, it's changed
No,
It's on
now
it,
because you can
PC.
get it on Steam.
yeah,
It's
and
on,
it was
well, I
on.
Yeah, I
I
thought
mean,
played it on
Automata was
Xbox.
on PS too, right?
Hmm.
it came out in
I played it on Xbox too.
2017. So yeah, it's probably
Okay.
on a lot of consoles,
So
a
it's
lot
an
of
old ass
things. But
game.
yeah,
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, back
I'm a
then,
PC boy these days. So
yeah,
yeah,
but back
all about that.
then, you know,
All
I
about that
was game
Steam.
testing at that point, so I can't even fathom how you're supposed to test. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna delete some of the game data. Like, I'm like, oh god. Got to make all these freaking fake accounts and like pretend to play the game, save it, upload it, and then see if it gets deleted. I'm like, that seems a little harsh. Yeah, but it's still a great game. Bandit, definitely play it. Definitely get into it. I just don't, you know, I got kids. I wish I could play it. I think it looks so cool. It's iconic. And if they ever remaster it, if I and my kids are old enough that they just leave me the fuck alone. Um, I wish they don't, but I'll try playing it then.
And it
Not
is
saying,
forever.
not saying I want them to leave me alone. I just, you know, got my business, got my content creation, and then it's like I got to spend some time with the husband. So it's like, when's mommy time? I'm like, I guess it's supposed to be when I'm working on my business. Anyways, yeah, we are very far from K-pop demon hunters.
Actually, we're not that far at all because segue. Let's talk about K-pop demon hunters. So yeah, we're gonna get some spoilers, and all the things we think about it in a little bit. Before we do that, though, we're just gonna get like a brief, non-spoiler, short. And I'm looking at you, Sweet Bundy, when I say this. Short. But yeah, just a few short opinions, non-spoilers for now, of what you thought of K-pop Demon Hunters. We'll start with Sweet Bundy. What's your non-spoiler brief review on it?
For me personally, it wasn't my thing, but I could see why people enjoy it. I could see why people liked it. It did, as speaking purely for somebody that's not, that this isn't really my style. I could see like the amount of work that they went to trying to define their own art style. It was blending in multiple styles, like that. I don't know. I don't want to say claymation or if it's frame rate, but it does something similar to what the Spider Verse did, right?
Yeah. It's the
Where
same studio as well,
it
by the way.
okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's completely the same studio as Spider-Verse.
Perfect. Then and then also combining like art styles that you would see from anime and putting it on this on 3D, it kind of like rubbed me the wrong way at first, but honestly, I got adjusted to it pretty quick. It was just awkward a few for the first few scenes, like in the beginning. But after a while, I got adjusted to it quick where it didn't bother me. It didn't stick out or anything. I just ended up accepting it like that's what's in this film. And the longer the film went on, the more spectacular the animation became. Um, the music, the music is really good. The lyrics are pretty good because honestly, this is like a musical where the songs are pushing along the story, and I feel like a lot of musicals forget that's what the point is of a musical. You're not supposed to just have random songs. These songs, when you pay attention to the lyrics, they're actually worked on. You could tell that these people who are working on this, who are writing these lyrics, are talented. They know what they're doing. They're pushing along the story. I'm paying attention to the lyrics. I'm not looking on my phone or anything like that. I was paying attention and understanding, okay, this is how this character feels. This is what this character has going on. They had some interesting villains, like the main villain that I forgot his name, but the big flame.
Ima.
Yeah, Gila.
Yeah,
Ima.
I enjoyed them. I love the voice actors in this. There are some voice actors that I knew, and there's some voice actors that I found out afterwards that I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know that was that person. So yeah, honestly, I could see why people enjoy this. It is a good film, despite me not really, for it not being my thing. It's good. It's a good film for sure.
All right. Wow, Lady Celeste, what's your brief non-spoiler opinion slash reviews on K-pop Demon Hunters?
All ages, fun music video turned into a long form movie. It is so good. I like it. It is definitely my cup of tea. It is definitely catering to lots of people, but it's fun for all ages. It is supposed to be simple, like storyline, um, of like bad versus good because it's in the title, demon hunting, like demon hunters. Like, well, you understand that it's a K-pop, so it's gonna have music. Uh, I don't understand if there would be anything else. If you're under a rock, K-pop stands for Korean popular culture, or of either music, mostly music, or like dramas, really. So K-pop or Korean pop music, and then demon hunting. So what's more better than that? Ah, I'm not a big K-pop follower. Like I don't. I used to follow it back in my early days, but now I'm just like, who the hell are all these people? Yeah, definitely. It is exactly what the title says, and it is meant for all ages. It's supposed to be a simple storyline. Anyone who's wanting a more complex storyline, it does not. This is not it. Okay, like there is some depth to the characters, but this is meant to be a musically inclined movie, and it's supposed to be that way because they wanted to push animation to have a simpler story that's a complex story showcasing Korean culture in many forms. So that is my non-spoiler review. Everyone should watch it because it is a cultural phenomenon and it is damn catchy as hell and it's infectious. So there you go.
All right then. All right then. Okay, I think I agree with some parts, some things that both you guys said. Um, I enjoyed the film a lot. I would say that I think I saw it popping up on the recommended feed before I watched it, and it's a type of film I probably would have skipped over had it not been recommended. Celeste recommended it to me. And I probably would have skipped over it had it not been recommended. I probably would have seen it pop up and maybe just, it looks all right, but nah, whatever. But yeah, I watched it. I really enjoyed it. I guess at its core, a kids movie. I think that's fair to say. But to Celeste's points, yeah, I think anybody could enjoy this movie. I think grown-ups and kids alike could enjoy this movie. In fact, that's evident because a lot of grown-ups have watched it and are enjoying this movie and are enjoying this movie, enjoying the songs and things like that. I would say what I disagree with what Celeste you said about it being a simple story. I think that is true, but I also do feel like there is complexities to it as well. I think there are definitely a lot of complexities to the story and the characters and how they developed and we'll get more into that a bit later on. But I do think there is definitely some complexities to what they did. But certainly on the just a basic level, yeah, it's a relatively straightforward story. That if you're say, I don't know, 8 years old, you watch this movie, you can enjoy it for that, and then enjoy the songs and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think if you want to go a little bit deeper, yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of layers you can peel back with this film and go very very deep with it. But yeah, we'll talk some more about that in a little now. But for now, for my non-spoiler review, I'll just say that yeah, I personally enjoyed it. Even though I don't believe I'm the target demographic for this movie, not on a service level, but think a lot of people who aren't target demographics of this movie enjoyed it as well. So indeed. So yeah, I liked it. And if you've not watched it, you probably should, because we are about to get some spoilers. Or if you don't care about spoilers, or if you've seen it already, then yeah, we're about to get some major spoilers right now. This is your spoiler warning. We're going to talk all things K-pop Demon Hunters, the plot, the story, the characters, some theories, and all kinds of stuff. So this is your spoiler warning. And I'm going to go first this time. I'm going to go first this time. Then I'm going to go to Sweet, and I'm going to go to Celeste, because I think Celeste probably got the most to say. But let me
I don't shut up.
But let me I'm gonna start off this time. Yeah, spoiler warning, spoiler warning, spoiler warning. So like I said, I think there's a lot of depth to this movie beneath the surface. I think like the songs in particular, they could exist as regular pop songs. You know, if you just listen to them as any kind of, whether it's a K-pop or any kind of pop songs, I feel like it could exist in just that normal kind of way as the songs themselves. But then to what Sweet Bunny said, like the songs also do advance the story as well. So if you listen to their lyrics, you know, they're talking about how they feel about things. They talk about, you know, their insecurities. That's, you know, when Rumi's talking about the patterns and things like that. So if you, in fact, as an example, during Golden, where she says, you know, no more hiding. Like, and that's the part when she's on her own. And she's saying no more hiding, you know, these patterns. And, you know, as a pop song, that just sounds like maybe patterns of behavior, or, you know, no more hiding as a kind of general thing. But in the story, we know she's talking about the fact that she's part demon and she doesn't want to hide that anymore, because once it's all over, she can just kind of be herself. Um, and so, yeah, I feel like a lot of the songs have multiple layers to them, that could exist as just pop songs. They could exist to advance the stories, and they could also exist as just things that you could apply to your life about, you know, not hiding and being free. And that song Free as well, man, that is incredible, isn't it? Like when the one she's doing with a Genie, and he says, why do I what what's the lyrics? Like, why do I, does it feel right when I should
It
probably
could
get the lyrics
be.
up aside. Yeah, but why do I feel right to let you in? Why does it feel right to tell you all these things? Because they only just really just met, and they have that connection. You know, that I have a theory on myself about that as well, actually. But maybe we'll save it till later. Anyway, but the point is, like, there's so much depth to the songs, to the characters, that yeah, I feel like this is the type of film that, you know, years from now, people could still be talking about, you know, who they are and what it meant, especially characters like Zoe. I was watching a video on Zoe, where they were talking about her being autistic, or on the ADHD spectrum. In fact, I wrote down the channel, because let me give him a shout out, because I don't be stealing other people's theories and acting like it's mine. You know? But there's a channel called Really Good Reviews, real as in, you know, movie real, then the Y, you know, so real E, good reviews. And that channel actually had a few videos on K-pop Demon Hunters that are quite interesting. But yeah, like she talks about the fact that she was obsessed with turtles. Her notebook, having like 23 notebooks all on demon insults, and these are sort of typical behaviors of someone who's sort of neurodivergent. And you know, the part towards the end where the demon's whispering to her, he said, the demon says, you know, when, you know, the Saja boys are coming in, you know, they're about to take over or whatever, and you know, everybody's hearing the demon whispers, and the demon whispers to Zoe, says something like, you know, you're too much and not enough, but I can make you feel like you belong. And that's the thing, people feel like they're too much. And she is kind of this character where she, you know, she does a lot, she writes down a lot, and she had this upbringing where she, you know, with her identity being brought up in America, somewhere called Burbank, you know, being brought up in America, and also her Korean identity as well, and you know, the sort of the duality there, and you know, being basically being on both sides, and you know, the kind of hyper focus, you know, that she has. So I'm not going to claim to be any kind of, you know, autism expert, or anything like that. But from what I know of it, and people I know who are autistic and neurodivergent, yeah, it seemed to me like a very kind of spot on way of describing their characters. Never specifically stated that she is, of course, but even the way her friends interact with her, they just really kind of accept her who she is. They don't make fun of her. They don't kind of question it. When she talks about, I've got something, how many videos on, you got something, how many hours of Turtle videos, but it's really just like whatever many small videos all stitched together. And Mira's response was, that sounds super boring. I'm so down. So there's this acceptance of who she is, and her being it like that. So yeah, I just felt there's going to be a lot to discuss about this movie in the years to come, especially the characters, especially characters like Zoe and Genu. In fact, let me just give you my Genu theory right now, real quick. Why not? Because I'm talking anyway. But yeah, so I have a theory that Genu is Rumi's father, because
No, cut you off right then and there.
Because here's the thing though, because I know a lot of people trying to ship them. I know that, and I was thinking of that too when you see them together. But when I was watching it again, I was like, wait a minute. We know that Rumi is part demon, right? We know that
Yeah.
Rumi's father was demon, but we don't know who the father was. Their mother was a singer in, was it the Soul Sisters that died when Rumi was still young? Right?
Sunshine Girls, I believe.
Sunshine Girls, sorry, yeah. Sunshine Girls. Soul Sisters, what I get that from? What's that else? But yeah, the Sunshine Girls, her mother died when she was quite young. And then we know from the song 3 that they just have this connection, but they can't really explain it. And I think like myself, I was shipping them as well, along with everybody else. Like, oh, there's like a romance there. But I was thinking, wait a minute, maybe the connection that they feel is because he's the father, and maybe he doesn't know that he's a daughter. And of course, she doesn't know that he's a father. But remember, Gina was over 400 years old, right? So he's been around. You know what I mean? He's been
You
around.
saying he's a whole biscuit?
Not necessarily, but he's been around, right? I'm not saying he's putting it everywhere, but he's been around, and he certainly would have been around when Rumi's mother was around. So I'm just saying, I feel like that could be a possibility. And if they do a part 2, maybe they'll explain it, maybe they won't, maybe they'll keep it a secret. Well, that waits to be seen. But yeah, I feel like, yes, they did make it look like it was more of a romance. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe we're misconstruing that. Maybe we're seeing what we want to see. And maybe the connection is actually more familial than romantic. So yeah, that's my theory. Genu might be Rumi's daddy. But anyway,
Trying so hard to expect me. So
before I talk too much,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Sweet Bundy. You said it wasn't your thing, but you can see why people enjoyed it. What was your biggest takeaway from the movie K-pop Demon Hunters?
Just on the surface level, I'm not going to be able to go into like a deep level and everything, but on the surface level, talking about the phenomenon of K-pop and how it's like popular. You can't escape it. It's everywhere. There's no way that you haven't heard of K-pop at this point. There's no way that you haven't heard of any of the artists, any of the bands, any of the songs. It's when we say phenomenon, we're not saying it as a BuzzFeed word. That is exactly what it is. It's all over. It's transcended its own culture, and it's influenced people outside of that never otherwise probably would have never known about it. And it doesn't do it as a cheap grab. Like you could tell that effort and quality went into this film. So it's not one of those cheap films where, we're just trying to go ahead and catch the rage of that. No, some like you could tell people were passionate about this. They were having fun. They went in, and talented people were involved. And there were a few names that were, that stood out. Like there's this one guy, I'm gonna fuck up his name, but uh Sungwo, or Sungcho or something like that. Basically, he's a voice actor that I saw in like clips or whatever. He's been in hold up, I can tell you right now. Give me 1 second. But Kim Jong from the Hangover movies, from Community.
Oh yeah.
What else he's been in? He's been in a lot of things. He was the I think he was the
Dr.
manager.
Han. Taylor Han.
Man.
Lee Byung Hung, who was Gima, he was frontman in
Squid Games.
Squid Game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daniel Day Kim was the Healer Han, who was in
so
Lost
I
way
only,
back in the
Yeah,
day.
he's
to
Bobby.
be fair,
Oh
I
my
know
God,
that guy
yeah.
because of the meme of I forgot the fucking doctor.
Oh wait,
or
Sung
whatever.
Wong
He
Cho,
was
is that
like,
who you thinking about?
That's who I was thinking about.
Sung Wong Cho. Yeah, he's a YouTube. Well, I say he's a YouTuber. He's on YouTube. I think he mostly does voice
he's
acting.
beyond that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he does.
he's actually
I
a
think.
professional voice actor.
Yeah, I think calling him a YouTuber is a bit disrespectful. I ain't gonna lie. My bad. I'm
That guy.
sorry. But yeah, he does
When we
voice
say
acting on games
some
and
people
stuff.
are gifted with heavenly voices, the way that he can voice act, the range of his voices it's amazing. So I was blown away when I was looking at the casting and I saw it was him. I was like, oh shit. But it wasn't like too surprised because I already knew he could do voices like crazy, from all the way over there to all the way over here. But yeah, the other guy, Daniel Day, I know him because of the meme with the guy. It's like a TikTok show or whatever that got a lot of hate. He's like, I am a surgeon. I am a surgeon. And the entire time he's just standing there like, all right, okay. But anyway, back to the film. Honestly, my favorite part of the film, and I again, the film is not my thing, right? But I know it's good from all the things I already listed. But my favorite thing from this film is the well, I don't know if it's actually the last song, but one of the last songs at least. Icon or Iconic.
Your
Idol.
Your idol.
Yeah,
Your idol.
Oof.
The lyrics.
Yeah.
Is
so good.
Yo,
Sorry.
listen, Nate. Oh, man, I listen. That
He
song was
did
about
his
to drag me
time,
to
let
the
him have
underworld.
his
I ain't gonna
time.
lie.
Bandits.
They were about to drag my ass to the underworld with that song. I'd be there like.
The lyrics, hands down, was like so good because you could interpret it however you want, but the way I did was like it was kind of leaning on some of the obsession that's involved with K-pop, because if you go down to the lyrics, I can't remember it word for word, right? And I don't have the lyrics in front of me. I'm not going to waste your time looking it up right now, but paraphrasing here, they start to talk about like, you have nobody, you only have me, I'm going to save you, and the weaker you get, the more I'm going to love you, stuff like that. Paraphrasing, just conveying the sense of hopelessness and speaking into that depression and saying, hey, I'm your savior, so just give me your soul, just give me everything, and I'll protect you, I'll keep you safe, I'll go ahead and make you feel better.
Sold. 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 Sorry.
And I love that, like, and first off, the animation at that point, like when I said that the animation starts to really go up there, that was at its best for me. That, and also the scene when they had the demons posing as her friends, Rumi and Mira.
Oh yeah.
I love that scene too. The animation for it. It from going from that whole hopeful feeling, that the song Golden, and having her swoop through the crowd on the swing and everything, and she's like finally thinking everything's gonna be good. She could see like I guess like when she sees the grid that's protecting people and it starts to glow gold, that means that they secured everybody, they saved everybody or whatever. And just seeing her really, like, the animation that's done on her face, fall into this sense of like we're about to do it, we're about to fucking save the world, and it just crashes down. And it's like your big villain. It's like it's reminiscent of any time when Disney used to have the villain ballads, like one iconic one I'll just name off, Be Prepared with Lion King, where it's just a whole showcase, right? That was done so well. Just seeing the terror on her face, and she's just forced to go with the choreography at first until she realizes something's really wrong here. But going back to that, your idol, the animation for that was done so fucking good. The dancing, the way how the people were just like, I guess the souls were pouring out of them or whatever. Yeah, that really felt like this is the villain song, and the lyrics were like, if anything, if you're gonna for anybody that's into film or anything like that, or shows, I should say, shows or film, if you're gonna take anything away from this, if you're ever thinking about doing a musical, this is how you do it. Again, songs and musicals should push the story along. Don't do a Joker 2 where you're just gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna have Joker sing this random ass fucking song that has nothing to do with the plot. This was speaking about exactly how these guys are feeling and their mission, and it was to remind you, like, hey, if you got distracted with all the fun part, like, oh, they're handsome and everything, da da da, yeah, this brought it right back to home and said, hey, these guys are villains, they want your souls. So I love that part for sure.
Here's the thing. Let me say, the thing about the Saja boys, like, let me read this real quick. So this is from Idol.
For your pain, let me be your idol. All your pain gets me going viral. I did that. Did it. Go on.
Well, it's pretty close.
I know. Right, so it's like, thank you for the pain. It's got me going viral.
Oh, that's a rap bit. Yeah. But it's from the one of the verses. It goes, anytime it hurts, play
another
anytime
verse.
It hurts, play another verse. I can be your sanctuary.
I can be your sanctuary.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm the only one right now.
I really feel like the songwriter, whoever wrote those lyrics right there, they did their thing, man. It wasn't no I mean, no disrespect. I really don't, but bear with me on this in case anybody's offended by what I'm about to say. It's not that Lin-Manuel shit, right? And what I mean by that is, I'm probably mispronouncing his name, but what I mean by that is,
oh wait, you talking about Lin-Manuel Miranda, the Hamilton guy?
Oh yeah. Yes. I know Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to turn around and turn my back on him and say, oh, this guy's awful. No, I'm not doing that, because I still think Shiny was clever. I still think his wordplay is kind of clever, but it's not like it's like he focuses too much on the technique of it rather than the content of the lyrics. And whoever wrote this shit right here, they really sat down and they thought it out, and they got it. They understood the assignment. Because when I for me to go ahead and again, I'm not, this is not my thing. And don't get me wrong, as far as the music goes, I like the music. I listen to a lot of different genres, different eras, everything. But it's easy to kind of like not pay attention to lyrics sometimes if you're not really invested. The lyrics right away from the opening lines, I was like, oh shit. I was sitting there glued listening to the lyrics. Yeah, you're not gonna get that quality of writing in just any film. And for them to put it in this film, and again, you know, it's for a younger audience and everything, for them to actually take their time and write these fucking lyrics for it, they deserve a lot of praise for it. I really feel like if people are not talking about that element of this film, then they're really doing a disservice to people.
No, for sure. I mean, like I was saying, like before, like a lot of the songs just have so many layers and depth to it, and that song Idol like towards the end when it came on, and it like the way it was introduced, you know, just kind of the bits in the beginning as well before they start singing that kind of operatic kind of, you know, ethereal, what's the word, gothic, you know, kind of sounds, and then it's kind of before the kind of beat drops, you know, and just the fact though, you know, they were dressed in their. In fact, I looked this up actually. So what they were wearing, I forget the name of it, but it's basically like the Korean Grim Reaper. So the way they were dressed with the, you know, the hats, the black hats, and the kind of black kind of garbs. It's they call like Saja. The name Saja comes from that, like Jeoseung Saja, which is like the Korean Grim Reaper. Basically guides this. Yeah. The only difference is that in Korean folklore, the Grim Reaper isn't seen as a bad thing. It's more of a just kind of a neutral type of thing, just guiding you to where you're supposed to be after you die. But that's the kind of garb they wear, that kind of black, you know, hat. So they based it on that look of, you know, the Soul Takers. But yeah, just the whole look and when it came on, and yeah, they. Boy, like I say, that they would have taken me with that one. Oof, that was boy. But what let me read some of these lyrics though real quick though before we move on to Lady Celeste. Let me try and find that rap verse because it's got to be in there somewhere.
A little bit of Korean in it.
It does actually, yeah. Thank you for the pain because you got me going viral. Yeah. Then it's Korean. Fever making you a believer. Korean. Don't let it show. Keep it all inside. The pain and the shame. Keep it out of sight. Your obsession feeds our connection. Korean. Give me all your attention. But yeah, so there's stuff in Korean. There's a video, by the way, that was explaining what the Korean bits mean. I can't remember what they mean right now, what they translate to right now. But I did watch a video that was talking about those parts of the songs. But yeah, man, and that's the thing though as well, because again, you can hear that and just think pop song, right? You know, there's lots of pop songs out there in the real world that, you know, have a kind of a similar sound or a similar kind of vibe to it. But you know, you start paying attention to the lyrics, and it's like, no, this is the villain. You know, it's their obsession. It's, you know, you gave me your heart, now I'm here for your soul. Like that. These are the bad guys. You know. So yeah, it's anyway. Celeste, as the one who suggested that I even watch this movie in the first place,
and then you liked it.
And I liked it a lot. What is your biggest takeaway from this movie? What did it mean to you? And why did you think I would enjoy it?
That's this one is not just about like good versus. I mean, I can answer everything as much as I can. First off, yeah. So my biggest takeaway is that we shouldn't be. We should accept our shame and our faults and the problems that we have. Rumi was always fighting, like telling her friends or her cohorts, like, I can't tell you my deepest, darkest problems, yet here you are, you exposed yours. Whereas my pains are so bad that I am causing this rift. And it's something that I don't think was really like, oh, it's just good versus evil. It's at the base level, it's good versus evil. But in the end, it became you versus yourself kind of situation, because her demon patterns started to grow over time. When we went back and saw her like training, she didn't have like a lot of her demons showing, but then it completely starts to engulf her body. The more shameful she became of herself, self-conscious, self-aware, that she's like, I'm not like the others. I'm a fuck up. I'm a mistake. And she even says that to Genu, and like her power as part demon is so strong that it actually breaks down the gold. So it's just like, oh, not the gold, but the guard, Moon is what it's called. And so it's just like she is so powerful as both human and demon that it's like she's affecting the thing that she's creating to protect people. And yet she can't even control herself. She actually starts losing her voice because of her own shame. And it's just like, no, at the end, she's like, I need to accept this is who I am. And everyone else has faults too. Mine aren't worse than others. Like, you don't have cancer, but yeah, you know, your daddy, he ain't a good boy. He was a bad boy, and your mama fell for a bad boy. It was really exciting. And then, you know, there's all these other things. Time for a spoiler. Here it comes. During a post or something like that, it was confirmed that her mom was slain by Celine because the mom tried to protect the dad, and I think the dad died to her dying mom. So Celine promised that like she would take care of Rumi no matter what, even if Rumi was like the offspring of the demon that like technically killed her friend. And that's why she's like, I couldn't love you the way that I loved you, like if you were just like full human, because her own caretaker didn't really care for her in the way. And that's why when she goes to it, she's like, hey, this cycle started because you tried killing my dad, who's a demon, and instead you killed my mom too, so you got to kill me. And that's why it seems kind of off at the end when Rumi's all like, Celine, do it. He's all like, no, I can't, because I care for you. I love you. She's like, but that's not true, because you told me to hide away all of me. You couldn't accept that I am part demon. And because of that, I can't protect everyone. It's a lie. And with the song, what it sounds like, she's like, nothing but the truth now, you know, all that stuff. Not like, this is who I am. It really shows like that narrative of you've been lying all throughout the movie to your friends, to everyone out there, that, you know, you have no problems. And she's like, I can fix it. No, it's not true. Like, no, we can just go back to normal. And it's kind of like one of those, like, I don't want to say imposter syndrome because it's not that, but not obsessive compulsive, but there's a neurodivergent part. I want to say it's like a type of autism, but hyperfixation kind of problem. But it's like you become the Elsa complex of, oh, I'm not supposed to show you my problems, and I should just lock myself away, and there won't be any problems. I can save people. I can still be normal in a certain point. So she can't relax with her friends like how she's supposed to. She's got walls up. Healer Han notices it's like, you're very guarded and you just want to get the job done. And like, that's her job, is to get it done. So really, she has no outside personality that anyone can see other than she's a workaholic. And it's like, well, no, she's a workaholic because once the demon part is supposed to be sealed away, quote unquote, she's supposed to be 100% human at that point, but that's not possible. Is it? So we don't know. But, you know, she's like, once the honeymoon sealed, I'm going to lose all my demon problems and my shame's going to go away. No, that's a fucking blanket. Like, we don't know if that's going to happen. We don't know what happens. None of the other like singers, hunters actually created golden. It's kind of like a myth at that point until we see like the little lines and the grid that turn gold. So it's like, it's possible to turn gold because that's what your ancestors had created. But it's like, but is that possible with the whole moon that you're protecting with you being part demon? Like, what's supposed to happen? But as we know, we see it get kind of shattered and she breaks it. And then at the end of, you know, fighting Gima, there's a brand new whole moon that reflects like the iridescence of it, which is really disappointing because I finished my Rumi cosplay and I didn't get to put it on today because, you know, life. And it's just like, I did an iridescent version. Everyone's doing gold, like spandex. And I'm just like, no, I gotta do it so different. And I got such good things. But I love the love story between Genie. Oh, sorry. What were you saying? Anyway, so
yeah. No, it's Karen.
Okay, so like I love the story between Genie and Rumi. So they cut out scenes of them supposedly going on like a few more dates. It just didn't tie in with the length of the movie. They cut it. So when he's like, oh, this is a date. And she's like, no, ew, no. Like they were supposed to be an actual second date with them or actual time when they spend time just trying to understand each other a little bit more. And they're supposed to kiss in deleted scenes. And I was like, oh, sorry, headphones, sorry. Feel now knowing that information, I was like, so yeah, I love romance, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't need it. but the slow burn of it, I'm just like, yes, no, but the whole thing with them two, I was like, oh, he's fighting, what's gonna happen? And then he's dead. I was just like, very disappointing. I really liked the animation style. I think it was really fun. I do think it's really nice that they incorporated so much Korean culture in a unique form. So there's a lot of people learning about Korean culture without it being like, here's a handbook, here's Taekwondo, here's Bulgogi, learn about my culture this way, because it's like very prevalent. And it's like, no, if you really want to learn about the designs and like costuming, theming, who the cat is, like the cat's actually like a spirit tiger, like it's really important. Same with the crow. You know, Saja boy is part demon. It also means lion, so that's why their little glow stickies are lion heads. You know, they did a lot of homework with it. It makes me really excited, bike. And another thing too is like the actual singers for are like actual producers for K-pop people. Like they write the songs. So they got the assignment and they delivered. Like the world has been delivered for them. Rumi's voice singer, she was actually in idol training for like 6 years. And then when it came for her to debut, they deemed her too old. So she just became a producer. So her finally getting her chance to shine, not with her face, but now her face is plastered everywhere as like voice of Rumi singer part. She still became part of like a K-pop idol group, which is so exciting. And maybe this is a way to like create idols out there, because I don't know if you know about that. Anyway, the idol training regimen is hell, and they basically just like sign their souls over kind of thing, because it's like no dating, no smoking, no alcohol. Like you have to do constant dance choreography, you have to do vocal training. You basically just become like an indentured servant to entertainment industry in Korea. And it's like, yeah, it's bad practice, but guess what? They make, you know, we've seen it. It's the phenomenon, like Sweet Bundy said, it's all over the place, and people freaking want you to, like, they want to see you. So it's like they want the best of the best, like the cream of the crop. And Rumi's voice is definitely like, I forget the singer's name. I should have said her name, but I don't know it. It is god amazing. Like I love it. It's so nice. Such vocal range. Yeah, I can't tell. I don't think there's auto tune, but definitely like there's some, you know, they got to work on it to so pitch it. But it's just like during how it's done, when she's like, when the dark meets the light, and then at the end of the light, and then they come back in with like the chorus. No, there's an extra note that gets even higher, and I'm like, she like pulling a Mariah Carey, is that, or Whitney Houston? Is that where we're going? Like, is this what this woman can do? And yet, like, she's been hidden from the world from us. I'm like, shame on you, whoever didn't release her to the wild. How dare you? And it's just like, why can't we have older pop stars? Which is pretty exciting because Rumi's age is 26, and 26 was like the age that she was supposed to debut. So it's nice that it's kind of like a actual time debut. Zoe is the youngest at like 23 or something. So it's like Rumi's older. But yeah, I loved all of it. I think there was a point where it's just, this kind of seems silly when it's just like, yeah, we see them fighting demons just randomly in the streets, and like not a single fan comes up and is like, like that seems kind of like like I get it. You know, got to move the story along. We can't just make it like, oh yeah, they're gonna be found, you know, they're here fighting in this alleyway. I'm like, there's always gonna be some stupid person walking around in some alleyway because it's Seoul, Korea. Like, this is not a fake Korea. It is legitimate, like Korea. So it's just like, yeah, tight alleyways, and like you're fighting on top of a train. Like, are you kidding me? Someone's gonna see your ass. So it's like, you know, like, what are you doing? So I think that part was just like a little too fantasy for parts of it. And they're like, we have to protect the people. So like when they're fighting in the bathhouse, it's like, okay, I can imagine that being okay because they got caught and they're like, oh, what are you doing here? This is the men's room. And they're like, sorry. And I was like, okay, it'd be really kind of cute to see that one more time in the movie, but we didn't. And I'm just like, you know, if they're this famous, they're gonna find them. So it kind of like, you know, continuity wise, it just kind of seems so weird that they didn't have another like, oh, we're your biggest fans. What are you doing out here? What are you doing? And then like their weapons disappear. And it could have been just like this quick, like, we'll get back and talk about this later at the tower. Like, you know, and like they could, you know, like on the train when they're like, we need your voice, roommate. We're singing Takedown, blah, 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 blah. And they get off the train or XYZ. But I mean, everyone on the train died. That's why when it opens, it's like, okay, there's that. But there's going to be people on that platform, like when they arrive, right? Like, you know, it just seems very uncommon. Or I mean, it can happen. I don't know where they're going. But it just seems like they could have had a little bit more, like Seoul, Korea isn't just population less, like a smaller town outside of like Tokyo, Japan or something random. Like I do know that it's densely populated. So to have that many people just go missing off of a train, if it's, I don't know. So that's one of my gripes with the show. I absolutely love the outfits. Is it all the outfits? No, not all of them, but they are so cool looking. Like they are so iconic. They're so cool looking. Disney does not have a claim to this because one, music is so good, and two, yeah, that your idol, are you kidding me? They have fucking Shark Tank song in it. You know, when the fucking people walk in to go see the sharks for the first time. I've been wanting to make a Twitch, like a TikTok about it. I'm like, that sounds familiar. What the fuck is that? Go look it up and pull it up. And later, after this or before this, anytime you want, during this, I will shut up. I will not say anything. After you hear it and you hear the and the person's walking, the camera's on top of their head, they're walking in, and then you see the sharks. I'm like, that's used in your idol. I'm like, that's that. I mean, maybe it's the same thing. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just psychotic. But that sounds exactly like Shark Tank. I'm like, huh? So
why not both?
You know, I mean, it could be both, but it's just hilarious because it's like, oh man, these guys are like sharks, you know, predators. They like alpha predators trying to serve this demon lord thing. And it's just kind of interesting that they have these like grim reapers who are like supposedly not good or bad, but Gino is technically bad because he hears like his shame. You left your family, you were starving. And it's just like, you know, some people would do anything to get food, you know, or some people will do anything to get their vices. His was food and a comfort of his own house. Like, not house, but the emperor, you know, because he just was like, I wanted to be a singer, but I couldn't afford it. And then my family was like dying of poverty. So I sold my soul and I got a voice and XYZ. So I'm indebted to this guy. Shouldn't have done that. But he's like, you know, I just wanted to be okay. And some people are like, oh man, I'll suck dick for crack. You know, you can't blame a dude. He needed his vices. He needed to survive. And it's just like, if you got to cut off like people that you can't do it with, you're like, what are they doing? They're just sitting there. They didn't even say if they were sick or not. It's just like, and it's like, no, I don't think they're bad. Like, maybe back then, yeah, it's bad. What, were you a farmer? No, you were trying to make it as a singer because that's what you did. But it's just like, do we have to go deeper into that? Like, this is kind of a kids movie, and that's what makes you feel bad. Yeah, you, I guess, feel bad about it because you're living the life of luxury because you made a choice for your own survival. Like, there appear like animals out there will give up their young, let them die to like a lion or something so they can survive. It's like, you're not gonna see an antelope fight a cheetah or a lion if they're like, oh shit, it's a freaking hunter, I'm gonna get out of here. Shit, bye baby. You know? Like, it's just natural instinct. You gotta do what you gotta do. And I mean, yeah, humans are a little bit different, but it's like, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, I love this movie.
But
I love
think
this movie.
to be fair though, so just to that point about, because he said that he basically abandoned his family, so, and while he ate and belly was full and they starved and things like that, and at the time he probably didn't care, but he's been around for 400 years, so he's probably like in the beginning, he's probably just like those hyenas, whatever, that he didn't care about it, and then some years later he started to regret it, and now he's had 400 years of just feeling bad about it. So I don't know, there's probably like a whole bunch of stuff going on in his head.
Yeah, because now he's dead, you know, and then he became like a guide, you know, a spirit guide, quote unquote, not necessarily Grim Reaper, but a guide. So it's just kind of like, oh, you know, I feel so bad. I never got to see how my family turned out. But at that point, you realize like he had a little bit of humanity. And it's kind of crazy because like then he's all like, oh, you gave me my soul back. It's like, really? You sure about that? Are you sure that it just seems kind of strange that they're like, that's the terms that they chose. I think it would have been better if he's like, you taught me how to care again about others, or like you showed me sympathy and empathy about more than like not self-regulation. What am I looking for? Self, you know, like self-preservation. Yeah. Because, you know, he gave up his family and trying to care for them for self-preservation, as opposed to like, yeah, I'm going to help my family. We're going to become farmers, like fishermen, you know, something like that, because our bellies weren't full. We're like we're not dying, but you're definitely in poverty and starving. So like probably dying. So, you know, I just think him saying you gave me my soul back could have been a better line. Cause it's like, yeah, you sold your soul to Gima, but somehow you're able to take it back from Gima. So really, can't all the other demons do that too? Or is it just like the Grim Reaper dudes? Also, what's with the other Grim Reaper dudes? I think they're fun, but you know, but yeah, that's why I'm saying Rumi's dad cannot be Jinu, because it's kind of like somewhat confirmed that he's dead.
All right, fair enough. So that pretty much just kills off my theory then, but oh well.
Sorry. I wanted to let you like cook and have your theory for a little bit and then stop you.
That's so good. So good. At least I know now, saves disappointment later. So
Yeah.
couple of things real quick though. So the singing voice, or the singer's voice for Rumi, is a lady called Kim Aeon J, if I'm saying that correct. But I believe she goes by the name EJ. But that's the singer, EJ, or Kim Aeon J. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And oh yeah, something else I wanted to do real quick, because you mentioned the song, what it sounds like. So let me read some of the lyrics for what it sounds like. Here we go. Let's see. We're shattering the silence. Shattering the silence. We're rising, defiant, shouting in the quiet. You're not alone. We listened to the demons. We let them get between us, but none of us are out here on our own. So we were cowards. So we were liars. So we're not heroes. We're still survivors. The dreamers, the fighters, no lying. I'm tired, but dive in the fire and I'll be right here by your side. Oof, man. But yeah, when this song came on, it fits so perfectly in my opinion. Like, I don't know if you guys seen 8 Mile with Eminem.
Yeah.
And you know, by the end of 8 Mile, I won't give too many spoilers. But by the end of 8 Mile, all right, fair enough then. Eminem gets into his rap bit in the rap battle, and you know, he kind of uses all the stuff in his song about things that have happened throughout the movie. You know, I am white, I'm a bum, and I live in a trailer with my mom. You know, all the things that happened throughout the movie. And even when he's talking about, you know, Papa Duck, he's like, you know, you go to you went to Cranbrook, that's a private school. And it was something that was mentioned earlier on in the movie. So because it kind of took all these little elements throughout the movie and it used it in this last kind of rap battle bit, it brought it all together in such a really cool way. And I just felt they did that with what it sounds like. It just took elements that happened throughout the film and brought it all together in this final song about her insecurities, about her fear, her shame, you know, all the things they were feeling and going through, and how it all brought together. Even the fact that they struggled to come up with a song for the Idol competition, you know, the song we couldn't write, this is what it sounds like, you know what I mean? Like, it just brought everything that happened all together and just like wraps it up in this song. And yeah, nailed it. Just absolutely nailed it. So yeah, what it sounds like, but that saved me from the underworld, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. That that came in when I'm dancing away to Idol, you know. That came in, and yeah, yeah, brilliant song. But yeah, for Celeste though, so why did you recommend this movie to me? Like, did you think I would like it, or did you just think I'm just gonna recommend some random movie?
Absolutely not. As soon as I finished, I messaged like a lot of my friends. They're like, "Did you?" And we're like, "Did you?" And you're like, "Did you?" And it's like, "Oh my god, was it good?" So, I knew this was gonna be like the Disney hit, quote unquote, back then. You know, like in the Disney Renaissance era. Like this is the magic that Disney's missing. It's good storytelling. It's got good visuals. Music is it's so good. It's so well written, and it's kind of like culturally like interesting. You know what I mean? So it's introducing Korean culture and this different type of thing. It's not just like, oh yeah, here's me as a pop star. I'm in America. But it's just like, okay, and then we got like the fighting style. So it's a really unique take on so many different things happening. And it's at its frontline face value, it is just a girls trying to be like superheroes kind of thing, fighting bad guys, or like a demon king, quote unquote, because you know it's in the title. But really, they have so much complexity underneath it all of like, oh, you know, self-preservation or and like self-shame and I don't want to say self-control, but like just all these other parts of humanity. Like, oh yeah, we don't talk about that. No, we don't talk about how like we have high functioning autism or something like that. I don't even know if I have that. No, it's fine. But it's just such a multifaceted kind of movie. Very entertaining. Very much enjoyed it. So I'm like, yeah, there's a reason why it's still like #1 movie on Netflix. Like this is what should have been in theaters. Like this should have been in theaters, and which they are. They are going to release a sing along in theaters so people can karaoke and watch their favorite thing with other big fans because they're like, oh, we missed a theatrical release because we didn't think this would be a hit. This is an original freaking story. Yeah, it's kind of cliche being like, oh, girl group, Sailor Moon kind of thing, fighting demons. And so it's like, yeah, but it's still original and it hits hard with what Disney used to do and they don't do. And I bet they wish they did because it's just this is where it's at. Like, you know, brand new IP, looks amazing. And this is what happens when you let actual people cook and not being pushed by like, oh, we need to make profits. How are we going to turn this into like merch? You know? Like it's that's why I recommended it. It's amazing. It's such a world like, you know, people are like, I don't want to watch it because it's popular. No, bitch, it's popular because people like it, not because it's the fad. It's not a fad for a reason. Like it's top of Spotify for a reason. Like people are, well, the K-pop people that are performing it, whenever they're touring now, they're like, Hanman sale, blah, 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 blah. They actually had at a different concert, like Gima came on like the center screens, you know, the 4 screens, northwest, east, south, like in the center of an arena. They actually put him on it. It's like, looks like your feeble attempt at sealing me didn't work. So then like the K-pop people that were performing there, like performed a different song. And then it just like really made people like their light sticks even harder. So it's just really cute that they're still keeping it alive. And it's kind of like what new movies should be doing, especially like Disney should be doing, because we look at Disney, they're the ones that make musical movies. Am I wrong? Like, yeah. So it's like we haven't had a movie hit so hard since like Frozen, in my opinion. Because like Let It Go hit charts so hard. Yeah, it was a sleeper movie. They didn't give a lot of advertising, but it got carried because Let It Go is so impactful, you know? I actually cry to Let It Go because I feel like it's okay to let go of your shame, XYZ, blah blah blah. And it's just like coming to terms with yourself and your not caring about other people's, you're just going to do what you do. And that's kind of like what it's like, not what it's done, but like what it sounds like is to me in a different format with self-acceptance from multiple people instead of one. So you're more powerful with more people instead of just like one person like Elsa. So you have 3 versus 1. They look cool too. Get their little transformation outfits, because if you know, Golden, their outfits have black. So it's showing kind of like this insecurity, kind of like, oh, this is that. At the end of Golden, everyone is wearing white iridescent. So it's like, wait, did they just magical girl us? Is this what just happened? Because that's not what it was supposed to look like. But it's still iconic. It's still so cool. So yeah, that's why I told you to watch it. Oh, sweet Bunny, you had to watch it. And look, you like it. Sort of.
Again,
go.
You know, it wasn't really my thing, but I can't say that I was bored. I can't say that I disliked it. And I definitely was like, when they had their moments where I had my eyes glued. One, you know, don't get me wrong. I didn't have my attention drifting off away from it, but there were times where I was like, "Oh, okay, they're cooking on something right here." Especially with like I said, the my favorite part was your idol, like that shit. Yeah, definitely. And I mean this 100%. I will be going ahead and looking that up on YouTube again, because I enjoyed it that much. I did really like that part. That not I shouldn't even say that part. I'm talking about that whole sequence, that whole thing. I loved it for sure, 100%.
So you're gonna look up and see if it actually has a Shark Tank thing for me, because you actually write music and then you can
Actually,
say,
yeah,
like, yeah, it's the same chords.
Yeah, let me go ahead.
Okay.
I gotta confirm that now.
Okay, I'm just like, just tell me if I'm going crazy next podcast and be like, hey, yo, Celeste, I just gotta say, like, that's the same thing. It's totally the same, like, beats, chords. It's just got the chorus in the background going, I'll be your idol. You know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, just like I may have big sauce, you know. I may have been
No, I'm
listening to it
definitely
too
gonna
much.
check it out and find out.
So what? I'm trying to see if I can find it. You say it's called Shark Tank. Is that a TV? So I got Shark Tank American TV show on ABC. Is that the one?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly the one. Doesn't not matter what season. It's the part where they're like, oh, this is Johnny, age 25, and he's about to go into the Shark Tank with his business on flying paper airplanes. And it goes, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. You know what I'm, Bendy, did you ever watch Shark Tank?
Yeah, I never watched the episodes, but I know what you're talking about. I just need to hear it and put it side by side, because I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, they show scenes all the time, especially even in memes and everything on Instagram. This other shit that I watch called Botchamania. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I just need to hear it.
Okay, are you able to share it with the 3 of us? Because
I'm not sure if I've found it. I mean, I found some clips, but I can't hear it though.
No, because you have headphones. Let me see.
Yeah, no, I don't think you'd hear it. The people on the other end of the audience might have heard it, but I don't know if that's the bit you're talking about.
I might be able to play it on my computer if I have internet. Okay, no internet found. We connected on PC.
Oh, we got
I
connection.
gotta pull it up. I'm not gonna leave.
No.
I'm not leaving this stuff.
Oh wait, no, we're still here. Okay. But yeah, no, to what you said about Idol though, yeah, that song was excellent. From a lot of different levels, from like I say, just like being a pop song, just being, you know, like a regular pop song, also being a song that advances the story, also lyrically just having so much depth to it as well, and having so much meaning in terms of who the characters are, and also to, you know, just in real life how sometimes, let's be honest, like some pop stars kind of do want to come for your soul a little bit, you know what I mean? Like there's some of the lyrics out there in some of these songs where you know, you might not think much of him in the beginning, but then you kind of listen to afterwards. If that's actually kind of psychotic. You
I
know,
mean,
some of the things that he
it
pops
could
on.
go
So
even deeper than that, because when you think about it, bridging off of what Celeste mentioned earlier, a lot of these artists, especially pop artists, they're built as like, you know, this machine, so to speak. And they're supposed to go out there almost like an avatar, like, you know, like a Miku Hatsune type of thing. But the difference is that they're an actual fucking human being. So you know, the producers and everything, they have songwriters and everything, they're built to be this person. Their only, you know, their only purpose is just to perform the way they're supposed to perform. So whether they're singing shit about what they like or what they believe in, it doesn't matter. They're supposed to do these certain things.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That was freaking hilarious hearing you say Hatsune Miku backwards. Like, it's not backwards, it's just when you do it in American. Like, we say our last names last. That is her last name, you know, like Japanese culture. So Miku Hatsune. I was like, it still makes me laugh. That's the first. Okay, so I have like ready for you to hear the sounds from Shark Tank. And then you're
we're gonna
ready,
hear it.
I will try to. Yeah. I'm not gonna listen to the full Saja Boys, but I think the part where it comes in, so I'll like skip forward to that part. Okay, so here is Shark Tank. So did you hear the
I ain't gonna lie to you, it didn't pick up any of the songs.
Yeah, I'm not sure I heard anything
Oh, God
actually.
damn it. Okay, hold on. I had to unplug my phone. But it's like almost dead. It's at 20%. So, okay, when we started the podcast and my computer died, it totally changed. Let me try this. You go ding. Do you hear the ding?
I think it's because your microphone on your phone is actually pretty damn good. Like, it's like, like it is pretty fucking good. Because that's what I was thinking about when you came back on the phone. I was like, holy shit, you can hear her fucking clear. Because I was worried at first. I was thinking, oh, you know, this is gonna be all it's gonna be all fuzzy or whatever. But no, your mic is picking up like a real fucking microphone. So your microphone is like purposely blocking out like background noise, but we can hear you perfectly fine. It's one of the
yeah, you might have to hold it like in front of the
it's like a blessing and curse.
Do you hear that?
No.
Oh my God. It is actually max volume on my PC and you don't hear a single thing. That's ridiculous. This is a cell phone.
Yeah.
What the heck?
But you're that's a good thing in a way, because it's like
Samsung
we heard
us.
you good this entire time. Like,
that makes me
for
sad.
your microphone to be that damn good.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna put this in our chat. Maybe you boys can hear it.
Yeah.
That's probably the better thing. So if I go to hit it, that's not it. Here are 3 reasons. Well, it's not like you can hear it anyway. So gotta go to that. I've got to go here. Meet. How can I do this? New meeting? Nope. Mail. I gotta look for the code now. Work history. We'll do history. History. Sorry. We gotta figure this out. Here we are. Found it. Okay. Ask to join. I wonder how this is gonna work. Because I'll have both of these. Okay, now how do I?
Oh wait. Oh, okay. So if I admit you in.
Oh wow! Look, I'm back.
This is interesting. This is something new. This is new. Okay.
Okay. So a microphone is out.
We're experimenting now.
Listen, we really want to hear it. Okay. So with my PC, can you hear that? I muted my phone, but no, I muted my PC. So my PC is muted, but you can still hear me on my PC. So that's why there's an echo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can hear it.
Echo, 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 echo.
Okay, so this is so weird. Okay, we're figuring this out. So we're listening to Shark Tank. Guess I don't need a mix. But that was it. Let me see if I can mute this.
I'm still not sure I heard anything.
Oh, you didn't? I don't know.
Did
I don't
you
know
hear
what
anything
to do.
sweet?
No. What we could try doing
It's not
real
working.
quick.
Anyways,
Yeah,
where's the
if you
chat
send me the
message room?
link.
I think I could
Yeah.
do yeah.
No, I'll do it. I have to send the link here because it's on my PC. It's easier this way.
Okay.
Perfect.
And
I see it.
yeah, we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna hang up on the PC because I'm just gonna use my phone, I guess. Or should I just use my PC now that I'm on my PC?
All right. 1 sec.
Let's see what happens.
All this.
Get an experimental.
Off. Everything's.
Wow, this is hilarious. There's two of me.
We got double Celeste.
Look, this is weird. All right, I'm hanging up here on my phone. Like, thank you, phone, for doing so well. Yay. News.
Okay, by the way, which part of the video is it on so I can skip to that part?
Settings, audio settings. Okay, we're back. We're back on PC, baby. Talking.
Yep. We hear.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, let me put my phone back on the charger so it doesn't die. It's at 20. When I first started the call, it was at 5%. Better than my PC that just was like, no, you're not gonna have a chat today with your friends. Like, well, I guess so. Not. It's called technology. I'm so shocked that you didn't hear it. But okay, go on, listen.
What section of the video was it on?
For your idol.
No, for the Shark Tank. Like which? Because it's a 14.
No. 0 seconds to 13 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first 13 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you
All
play
right.
it.
Yeah, as soon as you
All
play
right,
it.
No,
cool.
I heard it.
You've heard
Okay,
it. Okay.
Let's let Bandit cook. And then
First in the tank is a convenient version of a popular cuisine.
Dun, 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 dun. That bit, right?
yes.
Okay, yes, I heard that now.
Okay, 1 second. Find it in Saja voice. Give me a second. I'll find it.
Compare it to your idol.
Yeah.
Easy to find. Real easy to find. Getting a bit of your idol it's referring to, isn't it?
No.
Maybe it's
I
not so
think
easy to find.
Maybe? I can't find it. Let me speed run. Because
It's around shortly after the 130 mark.
130,
passed.
30.
It was after the rap, but I couldn't find it.
I would say, from what I can gather, there is a similarity. I don't know if I say it's the same, but I guess there's a similarity. But I don't know. I think the Saja Boys one bit more produced, if that's the right way of describing it. But yeah, I guess there's a similarity, but I don't know if I say it's the same. And the similarity is kind of just because it's a beat, you know. But yeah.
But
unless I'm listening to the wrong bit, but yeah, similarity. But I'm not sure. I'd say that's the same. Sorry.
I mean, but it's still like the so I'm just like for layman's terms, for caveman term. Oh, I hear beat. It's same. Yeah,
right.
as long as someone else can understand that with me, that makes me a lot happier. And look, we also have another microphone that's still pretty good, so you can't hear it. All the other things. We're getting experimental today.
Indeed. So apart from your idol and what it sounds like, because I think that those are, just to be honest, those are the two best songs. So apart from those, what other songs in the movie do you think were really good or done really well? Let's start with Mr. Sweet Bundy.
You know, I know it was a couple of other songs. I mean, Golden was really good, but there was one towards the beginning I cannot remember. I think it was maybe the first song that was, catchy, hooked me in. But besides that, I'm sorry, your idol just stuck with me because those opening lines, like those lyrics, are like they cut deep into what the story was doing, what the goal of those villains were doing. They wanted to lure you in. They were bringing out the, uh feeding off the insecurities and the depression of the people that are that are in the audience and everything. The entire time they're jumping up and down. But honestly, when you looked at like the characters like Mira and uh not Rumi, damn, what was the
Zoe.
other one's name?
Zoe.
Zoe. When you looked at them, their expressions are different. Yeah, Zoe, she was like kind of, falling into the beat and all that shit, but you could see like there was dread on their face, like, they're being hypnotized. And that's exactly what it was. It was hypnotism, and bringing them in and everything and luring them into this shit. And for the opening lines, referring to like, I'm the only I'm the only one that will love you for your sins or whatever, or love your sins. Like, that's crazy. That's like that's straight up devil talk, That's fucking Satan giving you the apple, or Eve giving you the apple, or whatever the fuck. I love that shit.
Yeah.
So that's what, I'm sorry I keep mentioning that song, but they did it perfectly. Like, you don't really get that anymore with any movies that have songs in them. You don't really get that, at least from my recent knowledge and from what I've seen recently. You don't get that high quality anymore. I haven't, like, that's why I brought up Be Prepared, because still to this day, I listen to Be Prepared occasionally. Every now and again, I'll go ahead and listen to that song because it was so well done. And it's like, there's no other songs really like that, or even sound like that, even down to the fucking beat. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right. So yeah. Apart from Your Idol, the best song is Your Idol. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
It really is. I already sold my soul. Give me
that. All right then. So Celeste, for yourself, apart from Your Idol and What It Sounds Like, which other songs did you think were done really well?
Oh, I absolutely fucking love the opening song, how it's done. It introduces the girls really powerfully. They have a really fun sequence of destroying their little private jets. The demons are really fun and kooky because like they're falling down out of a plane and they're like beating up demons. Like they're sitting on top of them. Mira's combing her hair, giving you fit check for my napalm era. And I'm like, oh my god. Oh, what a line. Oh god, I love that line. Because it's that whole verse, like I guess it's a verse. It's like nails, blade, mascara, fit check for my napalm era. No. What the fuck was it? That's gonna bother me because I can say it.
I've got it here. Yeah. Heels, nails, blade, mascara, fit check for my napalm era.
Need to beat my face, make it look look cute and savage. Mirror, mirror on my phone, who's the baddest? Us, hello. And I'm like, duh, because you're a performer, so you gotta look good, so you gotta beat the fuck out of your face. It's also a drag term to like beat your face, so it's like your face is beaten. It's like that means that you beat it up with all the use of makeup applications. So it's like, oh, that's kind of cute, And like it's just a really nice introduction of the girls, like how they're fighting on a really tiny plane. They're actually acting like a little bit normal, like we need lots of carbs, we need lots of energy, so that way we are ready and we're not gonna like run out of fuel. The how we do, and she's like beating up the guy with the kettle. It's like, take that. And then it's like another part was like, run the town, whole world playing our sound. I'm just like, oh god, I really like the sound and the pitch tonation of that. It's just like, wow, that sounds really nice. I really like how it's done. Golden is just kind of like this, we have to make a girl pop song that will be like that song. Like it's the ticket that will win it. Like this is our meal ticket. And I feel like, yeah, they had to make that one really good because this is the one that's going to seal all the evil. So it had no choice but to cook hard. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of obvious, but it's nice. It is very good. But if I had to choose, I like how it's done more than Golden. But that doesn't mean that Golden is subpar. Like I just like how Golden doesn't have the same hit for me on how we got introduced to the girls with how it's done. Because they're showing us how it's done because this is who they are. Like they're fucking badasses. They're fucking making music and like beating up fucking demons because they're saying knocking you out like a lullaby. Yeah, you're gone. You're asleep. Like, you know, you're gonna be sleeping with the fishes. You're dead. So there's another line where it says, when I'm shooting my words, I go Rambo. Yeah, that's another guy who kills things. So I was just like, oh my gosh, that's so smart. But I don't think Koreans know who Rambo is. And that shows that Zoe is kind of like international Korean. So she's like half American, half like Japanese, not Korean. So American Korean is just like, that's not the same. I also heard a person deep dive on the rapping styles of her versus Baby, because Baby is the rapper Saja boy, and the rapper in Huntrix is Zoe, and she's raps more like American style versus how clean Baby's voice is, because he's like, thank you for the pin and got me going viral. I did but clean, and it's like a flow versus how Zoe's is. It's like aggressive in your face. And so I really like how we get the introduction of them with how it's done. It's kind of hard. Like I always kind of go with my gut. The first thing I see, if that's what I like, then that's what I like. So that's my choice for outstanding songs. Like that's my breadwinner.
When she raps, she gets really scary. Like you better watch out.
Well, they even showed in like during the credits when they were showing the voice actors, like she actually her mouth, her mouth all up on the filter.
Hold on. So
Yeah.
just basically like sort of like making out with it. But yeah.
That scene actually where they're on the plane, and they have the demons, and Rumi walks up to one of them saying, yeah, you're a demon, you're smiling all weird, you're pouring coffee on the plants. And that's kind of how, well, one of the ways she knew that she was a demon, and of course the patterns as well. Here's the thing about the coffee on the plants, though, is that you can pour coffee on plants. It can be healthy for them. Now, you probably shouldn't pour that much coffee on your plants. That might be a bit too much because it gets acidic. But yeah, pouring coffee on your houseplants could be a good fertilizer. So there's a tip. If you've got some little bit of coffee in your... Oh yeah, don't do hot coffee. Don't pour hot coffee in your plants. Don't pour hot anything on your plants. That's a bad idea. But yeah, a little bit of coffee, on your plants, not too much. A little bit of coffee could be a good fertilizer. Also, the demons in that scene and the demons in the underworld, I saw on one video. I can't remember. Did I write down who said this? It might have been a really good reviews channel as well, actually. I'm seeing if I wrote it down. But yeah, they're called, or they're based rather, on Korean folklore demons called the Dokabis, who are these kind of mischievous, demons that they could be helpful to some people. They could cause trouble to some people. Of course, in the movie, these ones are more causing trouble. But the look of that kind of style of the, like the colors and that kind of thing, that it's based on the Dokkaebi demon in Korean folklore. And speaking of that look as well, the tiger, Jinu's tiger, that's
His
called
name
the
is
Derpy tiger.
Mhm.
Oh wait, it was named Derpy as well. I didn't even spot that.
Yes.
But yeah, the tiger's called a Derpy tiger, and the magpie, the bird. So that's kind of the whole thing in Korean folklore as well, magpies and tigers, and it symbolizes guardianship and good nature. It's from the I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong to any Koreans watching or listening. Joseon period. So Joseon time folktales. But yeah, that's what that symbolizes, guardianship and good nature. And of course, in the movie, yeah, they don't use exactly Korean folklore, but it's based on things on that. They've adapted it more to their style. So it's not necessarily this is what is happening in Korean history or Korean folklore, but just taking things from the folklore and adapting it to parts of this movie, but which is really cool because it does involve, as you said before, it's a lot of Korean culture in there that um laymen such as myself would have just completely missed or maybe not thought much of. But yeah, it's a lot in there. There's a lot in there. Let's see then. So for myself then, speaking of songs, apart from your idol and what it sounds like, I think for me it probably does come down to between Golden and how how it's done. Though I would probably give the edge to Golden for myself. Um, and that's mainly just because I really like the part where it just kind of kicks up and it's like, we got up, up, up. Is that that bit? And it's just kind of a moment where you just, no matter what you're doing, you're kind of bobbing along to it. Or if I'm in my car, just hitting the steering wheel, you know.
Beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'll give the edge to Golden. Just on that. Let me try and find some Golden lyrics real quick, actually. Because there's some cool lyrics in that as well.
Yeah. No more hiding, I'll be shining like I'm born.
Because we are hunters, voices strong, and now let's see. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, no more. No, I'm not gonna try and sing it. Let me quit playing. No more hiding. You don't need to
Wait,
hear
do
my
it
singing
in
voice.
my voice. Come on.
No more hiding. I'll be shining like I'm born to be. Because we are hunters, voices strong, and I believe we're going up, up, up. It's our moment. Together we're golden. Gonna be golden. Oh, up, up, up with our voice. It's gonna, yeah. I like that bit. I like that bit a lot. So yeah, I think apart from the two best songs in the movie, I'll go with that one. But yeah, I mean, how it's done is really cool. That especially just like the whole scene when they're on the plane and they're fighting with the demons, and they're jumping out of the plane and land. And I liked, you mentioned before actually about how they're fighting around town and nobody seems to notice these demons. But I did kind of like the parts where kind of and they're in their concerts and they're killing these demons in their concerts and everybody just thinks it's special effects. They just think it's like some kind of special effect or puppetry or whatever, and I thought that was kind of a cool touch that because you go to some concerts and they do these kind of really cool, unbelievable, amazing things, and I guess you might see something like that, and especially as a fan, you're looking at it thinking, oh, this must. You're not thinking, oh, those are demons. You're thinking, oh, that is it's special effects and confetti. And it became like a cool way of explaining certain things, like why they don't necessarily get seen as demon hunters. Though that being said, I do feel like Bobby should probably know. Their manager Bobby, he should probably know. Like he should at least have some kind of inkling that they've got extracurricular activities. Like he's around them a lot. He manages them. He's doing their whole thing. He should either know or certainly heavily suspect that they do something outside of music. You know what I mean? Like, but hey.
The one thing about that, I was just thinking about that. Like, no, they're not supposed to be doing something outside of music because that's not standard in the industry. They're one of the top performers, quote unquote, in that storyline. And it's just like they write their own songs, they perform their own things, and it's just like we don't even know where they get their costumes. So they got to go to fittings. They already have them done. They have to go to like award shows, game shows. So it's just like if they're relaxing or doing something else, maybe they're not, because they got that giant top tower penthouse like place because they sell out. So he only gets 3% of their earnings, but they're selling out. And I mean, if they're like, well, this plane's trash, we could afford another one. So maybe he's like, oh, they're getting some rest and they're doing these things. He's like, that's my girl. So he probably doesn't. I don't think he would be like that. I don't think he notices.
So you don't think I mean, so you're saying you think it's reasonable that he just wouldn't know that they're fighting demons based on the fact that K-pop stars are typically super hard worked and have very little time for anything outside of just being concentrated on their careers.
Absolutely, because there's actually idols. They've been so malnourished and overstressed, like overworked and stressed, that they will pass out on stage.
Oof.
Like you could look it up. It's a thing. Like they'll just hold their head and then they'll slowly collapse to the ground. So I don't think Bobby would question that they have an alternative like life. That's why it's kind of like, no way, XYZ. If you actually like watch a video sometime on just how the standard is for idols becoming idol groups, it's not easy. They're like, okay, you get to eat only this much and that's it. Like it's not healthy.
Is that like, I mean, I'm probably gonna sound mad ignorant right now, I'm sure, but is that like Pop Idol? Like, is that like is that like a game show, or is there more to it than that?
No. Idols, like they are featured on game shows. So you have to be a personality. So you're crafting this persona of yourself to be a frontliner for a band kind of thing. So you essentially give up a lot. You basically give up who you are as the past, and then you become something else. So like you would be instantly dropped if they found out that you smoke a cigarette or something. Like you're supposed to maintain a squeaky clean image that people can fantasize that you're just the perfect person. You can do no wrong. Like everyone's gonna love you, and their fans should be able to fantasize like, oh, someday my roomie's gonna love me for me and accept me for me because she's single and there's always this chance. So that sells the fantasy of like an idol. Like you idolize them and then they love you back. And it's just like, but at that same time, it's not real. So they're really selling this fantasy of that. That's why it's not allowed in your contract. Like you're not allowed to date like anyone. You're not allowed to pursue active relationships unless you stop being an idol. So it's written in the contract that you don't date, you don't do anything bad. If you do anything to like mess with your pristine image, like you're dropped. You're instantly like blacklisted. You are in big trouble kind of situation. So it's a really dark industry of like quote unquote fetishizing people's image to become like the perfect entertainer. So idols are expected to have the perfect interview answers. They're supposed to have the perfect answers on game shows and XYZ. It's a really big culture in Asia to have perfection. You look right, you act right, you sound right, you don't say anything controversial. So no Rachel Ziegler comments here. You're not allowed to do that. And the moment you do that, it is like you tanked your career. So you have to have like the perfect, I don't want to say track record, because like if you mess up on like a game show, it's kind of like cute. Oh, look at that. That was so silly. And stuff like that. But yeah, it like you really give up who you are as an individual to become celeb status. If you graduate, quote unquote, if you debut in an idol, like it's a big deal.
I mean, I guess we all kind of understand that the music industry could be dark, but I guess there's always some things that you don't always give a lot of thought to, like what. Because I mean, we hear about K-pop stars, and of course, we hear about them when they become really big and famous from worldwide, and that kind of thing, like BTS and I know there's a bunch of others who's not kind of blanking on right now. But yeah, you hear about them from time to time and how big they can be, and they do all these gigs and collaborations and stuff like that. But and even game shows, of course, it's not a surprise to hear that a game show designed around creating pop stars probably has even I'm sure the American and the British ones have shady sides to them as well that you don't always hear about, but it's not necessarily surprising. But then at the same time, it's like when you're hearing about they go through like that's in their contracts about what they could eat, what they could do, what they could, if they could smoke or not, they could have a boyfriend or girlfriend or not, any kind of thing that. I mean, I guess I understand from a business point of view that you want to sell a fantasy, even though that's just unhealthy in itself. I understand from a business point of view, but then yeah, you got to know how much damage mentally you do to somebody when you enforce things on them that go against what people just kind of naturally want to do. Just have relationships and especially when you're young, you're gonna try to want to try things that maybe they're not so good for you, but you kind of want to try them. That's kind of part of growing up and making those mistakes. But when it's in your content, you can't even do it. I imagine that they probably have a lot of people crashing out and just going wild, crazy, doing all kinds of mad drugs and stuff and things like that. Like the whole kind of thing. I don't know if you ever heard the term Catholic schoolgirl syndrome. Like it's like that the whole thing about where you get so restricted that when the moment that's lifted and the moment you leave that confinement, it's wildness. It's just nothing but wildness. So I don't know. Maybe they handle it better, or maybe not. But yeah, let's see. Let's talk about some of the characters now. Yeah. Okay. So we can mention a little bit about Zoe and her autism. Let's talk a little bit about Mira, because Mira's in my opinion, is quite an interesting character in that she's very kind of blunt at times, and very kind of like straight to the point. But then also perhaps you know probably maybe the one of the most caring. She's the one that goes to see Rumi when it's clear that Rumi's having problems. She's the one that's you know the way she talks with Zoe, and in a very kind of non-judgmental, accepting way. So I feel like she's this character that has this very stern, outlook. And maybe if you don't know her so well, you might think she's just this hard bitch or whatever. But then with her friends and perhaps the people that she cares about, even though she doesn't outwardly show it in a blatant way, her actions are very clear, and even the things she says is very clear that she does care deeply about her friends. So what's your guys' thoughts on Mira, Mr. Bundy? Let's start with you.
As far as Mira, um, at first I thought I wasn't going to really like her character because I thought she was gonna fit like the stereotype of just being a stick in the mud and just, oh, I don't like that, I don't really care about that, whatever, like kind of that kind of attitude. But um what made her go against that stereotype that I was expecting is that she goes along with it. You could tell that as far as this group goes, it's a reason why she's in it. You could tell that she's, you know, basically their sister. She just goes along for the ride. And she's not there complaining the whole time or something like that. She enjoys it. She's goofy like them sometimes. Like when they first met the boy band, her and Zoe were, freaking out about how good they look and everything. I like
Yeah,
that they show that goofy
popcorn.
side of her and everything. If she was like just stuck as this caricature, that would have been like a big like no for me. But yeah, she averted those stereotypes, and yeah, I liked her.
Okay. What's your thoughts on Mira, Lady Celeste?
So I definitely think she needed to be like the punk edgy one. She wasn't based off of like an existing predetermined, like not predetermined, but like an actual K-pop star. She was more based off of a Korean fashion model, I believe. I think it makes sense because if we go back to dating myself, what is this called? Final Fantasy X-2, they had this girl group kind of thing going on. So it's Yuna, Riku, and Pain. And Pain is the exact person who Mira is. So she's like this grungy goth girl, kind of like stoic vibes of like, we need a hard one to protect like these little babies. Like we have to be like the one that questions like, are you sure you want to do this kind of thing? Did you think it through? Like, you need this more grounded character that's just like, I don't take shit from no one. I'm a hard edge, but you know, I got a soft side too. But you know, I'm gonna shoot straight. And that's who she is. She's a straight shooter, kind of grungy girl. And with the edge. And that's why in what it sounds like, she's like, I should have let the jagged edges meet the light, because she is the sharp one. She isn't like this bubbly cutesy. She isn't the leader. You know, she'll follow suit with someone else, but she's going to tell you how it is. So that's Mira. I think she's complex in her own manner because she wasn't following normal Korean or Asian traditions of like, oh yeah, watch me have my hair be this color. Well, I don't know about that, if she had to dye it, or if it's not dyed, if she's still dyeing it. But she's like, yeah, look at me. I'm not dressing conforming. I'm like dressing in a punk grunge when we're supposed to be like in a nice family photo, like all pristine and conservative, because she's not conservative. She's got these alternative views and alternative dressing style, which, you know, has a problem for myself. And, you know, I don't want to say I completely relate to her, but I see my little sister in her. And I'm like, that's totally my sister. And so I just think it's really like, she's that extra character where it's like, we got a bubbly one and a leader. And now you have the buttercup of the group. Powerpuff Girls reference now, a little bit more. Everyone knows this, right?
Yeah.
So she's the buttercup.
Tough one.
You know, Bubbles is easily Zoe, and then Blossom is Rumi. So I don't hate Mira. I don't dislike her. I think she's very who she is. And I think it's obviously necessary for any like girl group to have that. And it works. It's a working trope. So yeah, there's my sense.
All right, cool. Yeah, with that bit actually, from what it sounds like. So let's see here. Why did I cover up the colors stuck inside my head? That's what Zoe says. And then Mira follows with, I should have let the jagged edges meet the light instead. And then they harmonize, show me what's underneath. I'll find your harmony. The song we couldn't write, this is what it sounds like. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. So with Genu then, who's apparently not Rumi's father. We'll see. Maybe they'll change something by part 2.
Like, if we get a part 2 and he's confirmed as father, I'll redact it. But that's kind of freaking weird because he's all like, I like you. It's a date. You know, we're not about incest here. We're not about that naughtiness. Nope.
But they did it in Star Wars. Like,
listen, that's on accident. They didn't know.
Exactly. Same. He did it. He might not know.
Listen, you can blame Lucas for being like, I wrote it and it's awkward and it's like kissing your brother sister. They do it in Game of Thrones, so. But this one, maybe it's not intentional because the guy at that point it's pedophilia because he's like 500 years old and she's like 23, 26.
Yeah, that's definitely like a what's it called, Buffy and Angel situation.
Oh yeah,
that was weird. Like, I thought I didn't watch Buffy when it was on TV. I watched it like years later, like something like 20 years after it left the TVs. But I feel like even back when it would have been on TV, that must have been weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like back in 1999, granted, I get he's not in real life 200 or whatever years old. He's, 20 something or whatever at the time. But like the story is that Angel is like a 200 plus year old vampire, 250, 60-year-old vampire. And Buffy at the time was like a 16-year-old girl. And he's basically stalks her for a year, decides that that he loves her and he wants to help her out, help her fight. It's like, bro, come on, man. That must have been weird even at the time. That must have been. Whoever's watching Buffy in 1999, let me know that, because I was watching it, I think, a a few years ago. I watched it for the first time a few years ago, and I was like, nah, that's a weird ass storyline. That is a weird ass storyline. I thought, I'm pretty sure that was a weird ass storyline in 1999. But anyway, we're not talking about Buffy today. Not today. Or maybe we'll see. So yeah, so Genu. Genu is the leader of the demon boy band Saja Boys. Saja coming from the Joseung Saja, so it's like the soul, afterlife soul guy. There's also Me's Lion as well. But his character is that he basically abandoned his family, and in exchange for, so he could eat really well, and then, ends up losing his soul in the process over it. And of course, over the 400 years, he regrets it, and he's haunted by his memories. And by the time we meet him, he just wants his memories erased. He said he'll do it in exchange for his memories being erased, because he's, I guess he's tired of, having those memories and thinking about it. What did you think of Genu's, say, motivations, and how it kind of resolved in the end with him effectively giving up his soul to Rumi so that she can defeat Gima? What did you think of that, Mr. Sweet Bundy?
What exactly?
The Genu's story about how he starts off, he wants to forget his memories.
I really like that part. Like, because I get it. For like, there are so many things from that I wish I could just fucking forget. And it comes at random times. It's not even necessarily triggers. And I can't speak for everyone. I can only speak for myself, where like I have those moments where all of a sudden my mind drifts and I have a random flashback, like this cringe moment. Hey, remember this? It's like, fuck, it's 3 a.m. But on a serious note, for him to be like, the way I took it is he did something really fucked up and he just couldn't forget it. He already did it. He wasn't going to take it back. He couldn't take it back at one point, and that was that. But it haunts him, and it haunted him for over years and years, centuries. So, where he's like, I just want to go ahead and forget. It's like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I think it would have been more powerful if that was his daughter and wife instead of his sister and mom. Me personally, but it is what it is. But yeah, I love that. I love his motivation for it, because I actually relate to it. Not to that extent, like I didn't I didn't do what he did, but still, to be tortured for eons on that shit, and he's gonna live even longer. Yeah, fuck it. And I even liked how he introduced himself. He's like, we gotta try something different. So it was easy to catch his motivation. Some other villains from other movies, they have weak motivations, weak missions, and it's like, but with him, got it 100%. Maybe, my opinion is biased because I relate to it. It was easy to just go along with the ride and say, yeah, I get why you're doing what you're doing. And plus, he didn't do any, I mean, it's funny. On one hand, I was about to say he didn't do anything crazy, but then you think about it, assuming those people that had their souls taken away, unless they got them back and I missed it, they're dead. So yeah, they killed a lot of fucking people in this movie. They're fucking evil.
Yeah,
they're fucking
the ones
evil.
at
So
the end
yeah,
get their soul back, I think. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, most of them don't.
they even killed the
That
old
seems
guy
to be anyway.
in the bathhouse. That was fucked up.
Yeah, those guys. I don't think they
Just
came
taking
back.
a nice little bath, and then next thing you know, oh, what the?
End of that Powerpuff scene when one of the demons comes out the mirror or something and sucks the soul at the back of the neck. Did you spot that bit? Right at the end or towards the end of the bathhouse scene, just like after everybody's kind of
No,
gone
that's
away,
what I'm saying. They killed the
just
old
kind
guy.
of sucks the soul at the back of his neck. Oh, speaking of that, actually, real quick, before we move on to Celeste's thoughts on Genie, um, back of the neck. So, Pulp Fiction, right? In Pulp Fiction, Marcellus Wallace, you know, when he's introduced, you see he's got plaster on the back of his neck, right? You've seen Pulp Fiction, by the way, right? Or am
Oh
I
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
dating
It's
myself?
old. Yeah, I know. I've said I haven't watched a lot this video, but I have seen Pulp Fiction with Samuel L. Jackson, John Travolta, and Uma Thurman.
That's the one, right? So
Yeah.
Marcellus Wallace, when he's introduced in the movie, his very first bit in the movie, you just see the back of his neck and he's got a plaster on it, right? And
Mm.
there was a theory about how inside the briefcase that he's trying to get back is Marcellus Wallace's soul. Because when the devil takes your soul, it comes at the back of your neck, and that's what the plaster was covering up this place where the back his soul was taken from. And then you see in this movie, came at the back of his neck. So yeah, I just thought, I don't know if they were trying to reference Pulp Fiction with that. There probably wasn't, but yeah, just that was my thing that I spotted, back of the neck and his soul's coming out. And possibly in Pulp Fiction as well, because he had a plaster on the back of his neck. But yeah, Pulp Fiction was never confirmed, and it probably never will be confirmed, because I feel they probably just want to keep that one a secret for the rest of eternity. But there is an interesting theory about Marcellus Wallace and his soul being taken by the devil, and he's trying to get it back. The combination for the briefcase as well was 666. So yeah, the theory is that inside his briefcase is Marcellus Wallace's soul, and he's trying to get it back. But anyway, anyway, what did you think of Genie's story, his motivations, and his resolve, Celeste?
Like I said earlier, I think it's self-preservation. He wanted to make sure he survives. He was tired of living in poverty. You know, there's a lot of people who would do lots of things to escape poverty. And if it's forsaking your family, they'll do it. Later, yeah, he feels sad. I love the fact that he's like the leader boy guy. Like he's the quintessential look for a K-pop guy. He doesn't have a crazy hair color. He's like the normal Korean looking dude versus his love interest. She's not the normal looking chick. She's got purple hair, which I'm just like, that's an interesting choice. But anyways, yeah, I'm smitten. You know, you could take my soul. Just I want to be with you. It's cool. Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. Oh my god, there's this guy that was walking around at the con, and he's like a tall Asian looking dude, and he wore a black shirt, and I was like, he kind of looks like Genu. Turns out my homegirl talked to him, and he's like, yeah, I cut my hair just to look like Genu. I was like, no, this guy's like 2 meters tall. He's tall. I know of him, but I'm just like, you know what you're doing. You're trying to be a heartthrob because I like Genu. I don't think he's like necessarily crazy complex like some characters could be. Like it's good enough for a kid's story. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get to see them like really go on a proper date. Him stuttering and really showing that like he started catching feelings for her during the whole like before Feel. Is that what the song's called? I don't like that song.
Free.
That is my least favorite song this entire soundtrack. I do not like that song. It's like
Free.
this, yeah, free. It's like make it be free, and then like his verse is like this huge rap thing, and I'm like, I don't. Why? We didn't need a ballad in this really like poppy hardcore. It's just out of place, and it's like it's cute. Yes, it makes sense because Beyonce has ballads too, but I'm just like, I don't like this song. I like the fact that they're cute, but it's like if they're gonna give a moment of love interest and then take it away from us like that, playing with feelings, it makes me really disappointed because like you're singing about we can be free, like hinting at like, yeah, this ain't frenemies to lovers, like we're really like feeling each other, getting their vibe, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh man, my bitch is getting hurt by this other soul crushing man, and like, I'll have a protector and I'll die. It's like you couldn't even give him a fucking kiss. He sacrificed himself. He took the hit. It's like if someone gives you a bullet to the chest, and it's like you're a chick, and the guy that like likes you, you've been smitten. Like you're not gonna give him a kiss on the lips. Like, oh, for you two, if you were a lady, you know, and you were being courted by a very particular gentleman, you know, with minor flaws, he still has more green flags than red. If he protects you from certain doom, would you kiss him on the lips before he did?
That's sweet.
Not him.
What?
Only because his ass evil. Like, I
Yeah.
really thought about it. I was sitting here, I'm like, you know, if all those people died, yeah, I'll like when she said, "Oh, I was just using him." I don't know if she was lying or telling the truth. She was probably lying, you know, just to protect her image to her friends and everything. But regardless, I would have been actually, yeah, I would have been on that side of using him because at the end of the day, uh, I would have been thinking like the way how she was before she started to accept herself. I would have been more on that route of, yeah, they're fucking demons. I would have been on some Blade shit, like how Blade is a vampire, but he kills vampires, and he's
No,
like,
I've
yo,
seen
I
that
got.
movie with the guy that's really cool that came back and he's like, "There's only going to be one Blade in Deadpool."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Wesley Snipes, thank you, Snipes,
Yes.
Sir Snipes over there. Yeah, I've seen that. I have seen it. The only one, oh no, I've watched all three actually. So there you go.
There's only two.
Yes, I just would have been on that route of like, even though I'm a demon, I got to kill these motherfuckers. It's up to me.
My
I
job.
would have been that route. Yeah.
You're not like, thanks, bro. You're probably gonna be like, thanks, bro. Punch. Should have died. Wasn't by me. Thanks for your sacrifice. I'm alive now. I'll kill you.
I would have
bro.
been like, good job.
Okay. So what about you, Bandit?
No, because if I was a girl, I'd be a lesbian. So no.
Okay. First off, you need to talk more on that. You can't just say that. That's a loaded answer right there, mister. You can't just be like, oh, if I was a girl, I'll still love pussy. Like, that's essentially what you said. Let's just be
Pretty
real.
much, yeah.
Like, everyone loves boobs. Can we just agree with that? Like, gays love
Well,
boobs.
yeah.
Why do you think they made breastplates for drag queens? They love seeing kids jiggle. That shit jiggles more than real life. Like, they've got some video game antics on that shit. So everyone loves boobs. Got it. So even if you were a chick, you're not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna be a cis female liking, you know, the male genitalia, the flesh meat. No, you're gonna be like, I want that cavern. Oh yeah, let me see.
Okay. Let me try and be a bit more serious
You know
about
what
it.
I'm
I
saying?
mean, I guess it's assuming you're talking about something that you already have feelings for, right? Or romantic feelings for, and you kind of assuming they might feel the same way about you. I mean, I think in a moment like that, then yeah, you're probably just overcome with all kinds of emotions and all sorts of things, and most likely, yeah, you probably would just try and plant one on the guy because he's like doing such this heroic thing, and all those feelings are going to be stirred up and coming to the forefront of how you're feeling that moment. I mean, you could get into because here's the thing. Here's what I'm thinking though, because if it was the other way around, like as a dude and a girl's, let's say, saving you, and you like the girl, and you think she likes you, and she's saving you and giving your soul, and then you went and planted a kiss on her, like a lot of people just say you're being creepy and weird and inappropriate. But then the other way around, other way around, it's kind of like you almost expect them to do it. You know what I mean? Like if it's the the guy saving the girl, then you kind of expect like saying like you can't even give him a kiss on their lips. He saved your life. But then the other way around, we might be like, oh no, just because she's saving your life, don't mean you get to kiss her like that. So like, I don't know. I feel like there's maybe a societal perception of how we look at these sorts of things based on whether it's a man or a woman in there as well. You know what I mean?
So if it was a woman and you were a girl, like she saved your life, would you kiss her? Even though
I mean,
she's
I'd
like
want to. But would I do it, or would I be thinking,
like,
would this be considered harassment?
It wouldn't be considered harassment because they're dead.
Oh, if they're
Like they're
dead, then no,
gone.
I'm not kissing a dead chick.
No, afterwards, like the last final moments, you're not gonna kiss them bye-bye. Like they
So
gone afterwards.
this is how people get
after
cancelled on the internet.
them before they disappeared.
I mean, yeah, it's like I think in a moment like that, yeah, you'd want to. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I think I definitely would want to do that, but whether I actually would or not, I don't know. I feel like if I was her age, I probably would. At my
26.
age now, I think I'd be thinking about too many different things.
Moment, you know,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I gotta fight this bad guy, blah 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 blah. I'm starting to lose, blah! You know.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah.
But
So.
yeah, you know,
mean,
I think
that's so.
it could be romantic, but there's sometimes a difference between being considered confident or creepy. Could be how much she likes you, and Sweet Bunny, I'm sure you could attest this as well. Like we as guys, we've had occasions where we've been absolutely positively 350% sure she likes you, and she don't. You know what I mean? You just somehow, some way read every single signal massively incorrectly. You know what I mean? Like that happens. That happens. And when it happens a few times, I don't know, man, you start thinking about things like, you know, maybe, like I don't remember that episode of Friends where Ross is talking to, I can't remember the girl's name. He talks to one girl and she says something like, I really like you. No, she says something. I think, I can't remember exactly what she said, but it's something on the lines of, I think you really like me or something like that. And then Ross replies, he says something, he says to him, I think you know what I want. I think you know what I want, you know, meaning like a kiss or whatever, right? I think you know what I want. And Ross replies, I think I know too, but I've been wrong about these things in the past. And that was like, you know, when you've had these experiences a couple of times, you start thinking, I want to do it, but should I? You know what I mean? Because I've been wrong about these things in the past. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think if I was in my 20s, or like say late teens, 20s, that kind of age, almost certainly I'm going for it, and I'm not even thinking about it that much. But yeah, I think 30s, older, 40s now, I might be like, you know what? Maybe I wait till I have a bit more confirmation that I'm doing that she's okay with this. You know what I mean? Like maybe say, excuse me, do you mind if before we get sucked away by this demon, can we just have a quick, can we just have a quick chat? You know, I just want to make sure that we're in. You know, might be something like that now.
Cal, I want to just bring this up because it's been on my mind a little bit. Kind of like, you know, this is consensual, right? Yeah, this is consensual. And
right. You know what I mean? Just somewhere, sure.
Yeah.
You know,
the Coldplay
we got 10 seconds
like,
before
hey,
this
camp.
gets sucked away. I just want to be...
like, you know about the Coldplay concert, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's just so funny because the people that were running the event and talking about it, they're like, oh yeah, we scout the crowd for couples and like XYZ, like, oh, for sure they're getting on the kiss cam. So like they're just vibing, have a good time. They are 100% getting on the kiss cam. Like the fact that they were not even thinking about that and they were forewarned that they're going to be putting couples up on that. And they're just like, oh, there's plenty of other couples. Yeah, we're out here in the open, like hugging each other. It's like, oh, no!
That was a bad move.
It's like that's not. It's like, yeah, you're consenting when you're listening. What, are you high? No, like that's so stupid. Like
it also says it on the tickets as well. I mean, well, I assume it says it on the tickets. I know it says it on tickets when I've bought tickets. It says things like you may be that this event is being filmed and you may be on camera, but purchasing this ticket, you consent to being on camera, to be used in whether it's adverts or promotions, even, or things like that. You know, so when you buy a ticket, it says that you are consenting to being on camera, and that footage can be used for whatever purposes. It's part of the thing when you go to these live shows.
Yeah.
So yeah, someone who's a CEO of a company should have known that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it was like, yeah, this is consensual and we're actually listening. It's like, hey, if there's the kiss cam, maybe we should like separate a few like areas away for like 2 minutes until they're done and then come back and snoo with each other, you know?
Yeah, or
So
maybe you just
like,
don't cheat on your wife.
that
Really
too.
better options. Don't cheat on your wife.
It's just like consenting, you know, pay
With the
attention
head of
when people
HR.
are talking. You're there for I just don't understand how you are at a concert and not listening proper to what's happening. And it's like, oh, we're going to the kiss cam. And they're watching other couples getting on. It's like, oh, okay, it's them. They're winding down on couples. Oh, what's the chances? So then they're like, no, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, you probably shouldn't have tried your chances on that because 1,000%. Like previous kiss cam workers were like, oh, 100% they're getting on. Like, no way. We're putting them on like either first or second. Like, there's no way. So, yeah, to risk those odds, it was never in their favor.
Imagine being like a worker, someone who worked at that company, and maybe you went to HR one day because you maybe having some issues or whatever, or maybe somebody was whatever, maybe somebody you liked or this and the third, and you were told by the head of HR that, oh yeah, you can't have a relationship with this person because it's inappropriate, and as your HR manager, I'm gonna have to tell you that you can't have relationship, and then that same person that same person is banging their boss, their married boss. Ugh. I mean, I don't know if that's happened at their company. I'm just saying, like, imagine that's a possibility because that's what he goes to HR for, or one of the things anyway.
One of the things that HR is supposed to deal with.
Yeah, it's like, bruh.
It's so stupid because, like, they're supposed to be in charge of people doing the right thing, and yet you have two of the top people doing the wrong thing. It's so stupid.
Yeah, that's yeah. All right, then let's talk a little bit about our main girl, Rumi. The purple haired, long haired, half demon. Lead singer. Let's see. So her story is that she's half demon. She was raised by Celine. After her mother passed while she was still young. As of yet, we don't know who her father is. We'll see if my theory is true or not. But so far, it seems like it won't be. But as of right now, there's no full confirmation of who her father is. But yeah, he was a demon. We know that much. And yeah, she was basically raised in shame, to hide her half demon side. And Celine, I don't think it's fair to say Celine didn't love her. I think Celine is just from a different generation, and love looks different when you're dealing with things like that from different generations. You know what I mean? Like they try to raise you the best way they know how, which is not necessarily the way you need to be raised, because fundamentally what happened is that, are you good? Yeah. Because fundamentally what happened is that, she did feel that shame and embarrassment and was constantly hiding that part of herself from her friends, the people who cared about her the most. And yeah, of course, that's a big part of how the story plays out, and especially by the time we get to the end, and how it kind of links into everything. The demons themselves, they have shame. Zoe deals with her own kind of embarrassment and wondering whether she's enough or not, too much or not enough. Mira kind of deals with that whole thing about being the black sheep of the family and the one that that kind of thing. So there's this Rumi, I guess, is a character that brings all the other characters together with that. So what was your thoughts on Rumi's character, her development, and her finally going to the bathhouse with her friends? Sweet Bundy. What did you think
honestly,
of Rumi?
If we're talking about just that part at the end, I as far as the payoff, I didn't really care too much, but that's because like you know, I obviously don't get the whole bathhouse thing, like, the enjoyment of it, why they were excited, but I guess that's just because that's just either a cultural thing or because I know references to it from other like games and everything, but it could just be their thing and their whole bonding thing and the fact that, it represents something deeper. As far as her as a character as a whole, I enjoyed it. I like the fact that, um through her lyrics and through what you saw, like the demon markings on her arms and everything. This is something that she hides, and it's it has a double meaning too. The Celeste touched on it way earlier, um, that it could represent other stuff, uh more than just a physical thing and her being a demon or whatever. It could be other things like the ugliness of it. Bring again with what Celeste mentioned, and being like an idol. uh you can't do this, you can't just do normal shit, so to speak, without being cast out. Shit, even with the voice actor, she was cast out because of her age. So you do everything perfect. Imagine that. You do everything perfect, but it's because of your age that you don't get to achieve this. So I think that also fed into our performance too. But yeah, these markings and everything is a sign of shame, and she shouldn't have to be ashamed about it. She wasn't going out killing anybody. She's been saving lives, but she's ashamed of who she is, and she can't help it. She was born that way. So just on it's so many layers on there. You don't even have to look that deep. You could just look at it for the surface value, but it's there if you want to dig. It's not like you're just digging for nothing. And that, yeah, that made her, that's just one of the things that made her a good character. You could tell, you could understand why she was doing everything that she was doing. You could, I mean, anybody in her position, generally speaking, would be trying to hide that shit. These are things that you're trying to kill. And for all your friends will end up having to kill you if they have to, because they,
Most
this is
did.
what they're taught. Yeah. So it's not like she was being foolish and hiding it or anything. I completely understood her motivations too. I feel like one of the biggest disconnects, um, with some stories is when the motivation makes no sense. It's like, not to get too off topic, but real quick, romance comedies have a big issue with this whole. If you guys would just stop and fucking talk instead of having this misunderstanding, this whole plot would be done already. And it takes you out the movie. That's why romance comedies are. I fucking hate them. But my point of bringing that up is that with this character, I understood why she was doing the things that she was doing, and that made me go ahead and respect her character and go along with the story. I understood the motivations of these characters, and your main character having that understood, great, great job.
All right. Um, what did you think of Rumi's character and development, Celeste?
It was kind of like nice. Again, it's very Elsa based. Like she was born with this unfortunate condition, basically her heritage this time. Did it grant her powers? Not really, until like she started manifesting her shame a little bit more, because Gimwa even said like, oh, I have no control over her. She's her own person. And it never really hit that she was demon until she just kept losing it. And that part kind of just like it just accelerated because she's more ashamed. She's like, she can't do these things. And I think because of her like saying, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, blah blah blah, I'm so scared, like her fear led for her becoming stronger. You know what I mean? So without her fear in certain situations, it was strong. But it's like this whole entire time she's been strong enough to keep back her fear. And I guess when you get to a certain age, it just really hits you harder. And so like her getting older and then having these two people and they're so close to closing the honeymoon, I guess that's what made her even more scared. So it's kind of like, all right, there's XYZ, that So what are you gonna do, quote unquote? But I do think it's like the quintessential kind of hero complex of like, oh, there's something wrong with me, blah blah blah. But you know, I'm still strong. I have to be the leader of the group, and that's why I have to protect everyone else. And it doesn't even help her protect herself, because she's protecting everyone who's like, and she falls, she has no one to fall back onto when like the other two girls thought that they were having that situation. So it's just like, alrighty. But I like Rumi because she is who she is, and she finally accepts herself, which I think a lot of people don't accept themselves. And it does show like she wanted the easy way out. She wanted someone to finish her off. And it's like, oh, if only someone else could do my fix my problems for me. And it's like, no, that's not what the problem is. It's like you have to do what you have to do for you, because I can't do it for you. Like, I can care for you as much as I can, but when Celine's like, I do love you, and she's like, why did you love me for me? And she's like, she didn't give her a chance to properly say like, I I just don't know how to love your demon part, because no one has ever had this problem. No one has ever seen half human, half demon baby. So it's like, what happens if you turn on me? Like, there's always that hypothetical of like, what if you actually turn out to be bad later and XYZ? Which she does say, like, I'm glad the shield is gone, blah, 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 blah. You know, and then she makes a new shield, which is nice. But at the same time, it's just like, Celine wasn't driving her out of fear. She's just doing the best that she can, taking care of her. She wasn't like abusive, we hope. But it's just like they just don't know any better. And so with Rumi not knowing any better, being fed with what Celine told her and not having two parents, it's essentially she's coming from a broken home where she's all alone. So it's kind of sad. But, you know, she's thriving, and she's like, I have to learn self-love in its own message. And she's thought, I think her starting to like attach to Gino, I think she probably found like someone that could relate to her because he is a demon. So, like Rumi.
For Rumi. Yeah, no, Rumi was Rumi was a cool character. There was something about her that I guess you could call it a character flaw, but I imagine it was very deliberate as well. And that she's a workaholic. And it makes sense, especially in the early parts of the movie, because they're so close to the honeymoon and, you know, do that whole thing. And that's why she releases the song Golden when they barely even took a break. You know, she's released the songs and smiles, that big smile with the outfits. And they're back after having a break for like 2 seconds or something. But then it happens again at the end where, you know, they rebuilt the honeymoon, you know, they're getting ready to take another break. They're looking forward to couch. And then they see the fans, and Rumi says something like, you know, I think we've had enough of a break. And they're like, yeah, you know, yeah, we need. And I get there's a part of being in the celebrity kind of public eye, you know, when you see a fan, you kind of, regardless of whether you're on break or not, there's a part of it where you kind of have to show up for the fans, because, you know, they're just, you know, especially when they're young, and you try and make sure everyone has a positive experience when they see you. But then it's also like, you need to actually take a break. Like, you need to stop and actually rest for more than a few seconds. You need to, you know, not work and rejuvenate, because being on all the time is exhausting, and can be very detrimental. And in fact, there's a part of the movie where, in the beginning, where one of the fans says something like, they're taking a break after this and they totally deserve it, but we're going to miss them. So even their fans kind of recognize that, yeah, they need to take a break. But they don't really. They don't ever really have that break. And I don't know. Part of the reason I'm wondering if it's related to what you said about the pressures of being an idol, just like you just constantly on all the time, and maybe that's one of the reasons they never take a break. Is that they're just trained to be just on all the time, and their feelings are secondary. You know, in fact, now that I'm saying it, like even I guess with Celine, talking about covering up human patterns, you know, that's always like the thing. Like you might feel a certain way about it, but this is what you got to do. So I guess her whole kind of upbringing has always put herself secondary anyway, and perhaps that's now also manifesting itself as being this workaholic, who's constantly putting herself secondary, and even at the end, still in that kind of mindset of, oh, the fans are first, put herself secondary, and her being a leader, it trickles down to Mira and Zoe as well. So yeah, I thought that was like I said, I assume it's a deliberate character flaw of hers. It'd be interesting to see if they address that, if they ever do a part two. Because yeah, working that much and never taking any real breaks could be very, very unhealthy. But yeah, we'll see how far they take that, if indeed they do anything with it all. What do you guys think of Rumi's workaholicness, Mr. Bundy? Just the fact that she's a workaholic and never takes breaks. What did you make of that?
I took it as normal. When it comes to K-pop stars, like thing that Celeste was saying is true. There's no, that's their life. There's no, chilling and doing this and that. It's not like how it is over in America or even the UK, where some of these artists, they have moments where they could go ahead and do this shit, or they could have a bad boy image. If they do have a bad boy image as a K-pop star, it's scripted pretty much. If they go outside that line and all that shit, that's it. There was a story not too long ago. I cannot remember the artist's name, but they did something where it was simple as like dating someone. They were just dating someone. They're not supposed to be dating anyone. And the contract was pretty much ripped up. And they were like in tears. They had to make a public apology and everything, and cry and everything, all that. So yeah, demon hunter. So on top of that, it's like, yeah,
no days
better
off.
work. Shit.
What did you think of that, Celeste? Rumi's workaholic nature.
I think it's like she was right there, because when they performed How It's Done, she saw the golden honeymoon part come up. So it's just like, if I just push a little more, then I'm done. Like, I'm okay. Like, I'm safe. I can be normal. And I think a lot of people like to push themselves over the limit and as hard as they can to get what they want. And in the end, it causes their downfall. And I think that's normal. Unfortunately, like Bundy said, or Buzz said, like, I don't know. Do you want to be Bundy or Buzz? Like, what are we doing now?
I'm not going to be here and be like, hey, that's not my name.
Okay. Well, Sweet was all like, this is normal. And unfortunately, this is human nature to be working this hard. And it's just like, we have all these creators that are like, I work more than 24-hour days. Like, instead of a 9 to 5 working a salary job that makes me unhappy, I work, nonstop doing content creation, blah, blah, blah. I have to do all these hats instead of just doing one performative job and one task. So it's really difficult on people at XYZ. So it makes them sad. But it's just like, she's right there at her goal and she saw it. And it's just like the light at the end of the tunnel, instead just to be plunged back. And then it's not exactly what it is. But see, like, it just kind of makes sense. Because like when I'm close to being done with the project, I'll keep going, even though I said I'm going to set a hard timer at like 2 p.m., be done, and then come back. And then it's just like, oh, it's 2:30. If only I just make like 2 more stitches and then I cut this, it'll be fine. But because I'm trying to rush, I could potentially sew the last 2 stitches on the wrong side of the fabric. Then I have to unpick. And then now it's like 3:40. And it's just like, oh, if only I did that right the first time, when it's just like, no, you should have put it down and took a break. So it's really hard because it's very human nature. And I see myself doing that. So listen to my voice. I don't sound normal because I used it so much this past weekend, and I'm still talking. So, woo.
There's an old saying. I've heard this in a few movies. I think they say it in one of the in John Wick 4 as well. He says, "Measure twice, cut once." So yeah, take your time.
I mean, they say that for carpentry too. So
Yeah, measure twice, cut once. Basically, just means take your time. Like if you're rushing, you make mistakes, so you'd have to keep going over again. But if you take your time, if you measure it twice, you don't ever have to cut once.
you want to know something really unfortunate?
That's how I take it to me anyway. That's what it means to me. I don't know. Maybe it did mean something else, and I just misunderstood it.
So when I was working on my Rumi cosplay, I made the pants perfectly. I made like legitimately like long pants, like long shorts. I'm like, okay, all I had to do is cut it. And I tried them on, pinned where I was going to cut it, and then I flipped it inside out. And I was like, I think I was gonna cut here. And I'm like, yeah, they kind of like booty shorts, so I like kind of eyeballed it. And like I was measuring so that the sides were symmetrical anyways. No, I cut it so short. And I don't know if you saw it on my my Instagram feed. I think you did Bandit.
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
saw it. I was like, oh, that's a
did.
cheeky Rumi. I was like, oh boy, that is completely not what it's supposed to be. So I had to go back and completely make them all over again, and it was much better now that I knew like it's supposed to be kind of decently long for short shorts. So it's like I thought these were just supposed to be like short booty shorts. No, they're pretty covering for all kids. So I was like, well, I got that wrong.
You measured it twice.
But I did. I tried it on and then I remeasured it.
In that case, measure it 3 times.
Yeah. For my dumbass, measure 60 times, reference the image, and then cut. And then when you hem it, like don't fuck it up. So Bill can fuck up even after measuring twice. It happens. It's unfortunate, but it happens.
Yeah. From Celeste Booty to
Thanks. Thank you.
Let's see. So yeah, we've talked a lot about K-pop. I'm just seeing my notes. I think we've covered quite a bit. Is there anything you guys want to bring up that we haven't brought up already?
Saja boys are actually references to all the different stereotypes of Saja boys. Mystery was the only one that was like the unique one that they created from scratch. Because like you have like the baby of the group who's like the youngest, and then he's majority of the time either like the best dancer or rapper kind of guy. Then you have like the super sporty guy that's Abby, and then Mira's all like no. So then you have romance, and his whole motif is nothing but hearts. So if you look at his profile picture, his bangs come into like a heart shape. If you like look at how it bends, he's got hearts necklace, he's got hearts on his sweater. Yeah. Mystery, baby, romance, Abby, and then Genu. So, and Genu is just the quintessential boy band. So I just wanted to lightly touch on the different Saja boys. That's the stereotypes that they're fulfilling of like certain peak roles of like, oh, are you this kind of guy or are you this kind of guy? And of course they're gonna have fun colors because like they're demons or whatever. Like it's just fun to be able to differentiate it. Cause like why not? This movie is like really colorful. So I'm just adding that.
Yeah, I'm just got a picture now today, but yeah, I guess I'm looking at it. It seems like really obvious the way his hair is. Like it's a heart, and yeah, Mystery. His face was covered pretty much throughout the whole movie. You only see kind of glimpses of bits of it. Apparently, though, I did see one video where they were saying that his face was covered like that because it was just easier to animate. So they were like, yeah, we just need it easy to animate. Just cover his face. It's fine.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then, but there is a bit at the end where Zoe sees his face and says something like, "Oh, you're so cute. You're just my type," and it kills him anyway. That was really cool.
Yeah, Oh, you're just my type. Oh well.
Yeah. Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go. All right. You're a demon, and I'm a demon hunter.
So it's
Is
kind
what
of
it
weird, right?
is.
So like the Saja boys are supposed to be Grim Reapers, right? They're not this quintessential like I keep saying quintessential, but like they're not the stereotypical demon like the ones that we saw on the plane. So it's like, are they really dead? Like, you know what I mean? Because they're supposed to be of high ranking. That's why they could fly around, poof, magically appear, like, you know, do stuff like that, summon more. So like I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're actually
Oh,
dead.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I did see another theory about that actually. That with Abs, when Mira cuts him, like you see him disintegrate, like he light comes out, all that, right? When Zoe went to kill Mystery, you don't really see him disappear like that. Like he kind of turns to a puff of smoke, which is kind of how they move around anyway. If you see where they get introduced, you see them just kind of appearing like a puff of smoke. So like she takes the swing and you just see the smoke. You don't really see the lights or anything like that. So the theory was that he might not be dead. Like maybe some of them are, but he's not. And
Like Ab is
even with
definitely dead.
yeah, we see him go unless he managed to, I don't know, ghost. I don't know. I don't know where demons go when they die, but
Yeah, so
maybe he
there's
goes
the
to
other part too.
underworld or something. I don't know, but
So there's the other part too. Like if they were in the bathhouse and they're summoning all these guys, right? Like the demons, and then you see them run out the door, like it just seems kind of weird. Like if you get hocus pocus poof out of there, um, why didn't you just do that after the bathhouse of like having all those guys? Like why are you running away? And like, you know, it just seems kind of limited with their hocus pocus stuff. Like, are they only able to do it in their Saja Grim Reaper outfit? I don't know. Because remember, that's how Rumi gets to him. She's like, grrr, and he's like, you're strong. And so it's just kind of weird, right? Like, why wouldn't he just like be like, poof, I'm out. Ha, you caught me, but bye. You can't stop me. You know?
yeah.
Like
I mean,
you
it
see
could
him
be.
flirting at the end. It just doesn't compute. So I just wanted to hear what you guys think of that.
Yeah, I mean, it could be related to the outfit, or it could be that maybe that was kind of part of their trickery, you know, because fundamentally they are con artists and tricksters and manipulators, you know. So it could be related to them and how one of the ways in which they try to manipulate people and not necessarily showing all their tricks at once, you know. So yeah, I guess it could be a few things. Could be a few things. Andy.
No, if this is the last movie, then they're dead. If there's a sequel, they'll be back for sure.
Except Genu.
I think
Genie
they'll
might
still
not
bring him
necessarily
back.
be dead.
So there's like fan drawings of Genu popping out of her sword, braiding her hair, and she's like freaking out. She's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Well, technically, I gave you my soul, and it's part of your sword now." So, like,
Yeah.
he's like in her sword. So there's just fan drawings of that. I'm like, technically, I could see that happening, but that's kind of weird because like the sword is her soul, kind of thing. I think that's why all the other girls are able to have their weapons. Like, I don't know, because they're hunters and stuff. Voice is strong. I don't know.
Weapons, by the way, they're all part of Korean culture as well. Like I can't remember what they were saying about them now. I think I wrote it down somewhere in my
I
notes.
know
But yeah, they're
that
all part of Korean culture as well.
I know that Zoe's is basically talismans. They're not actual daggers. So kind of like in Japan, they have talismans that they like paper talismans. Hers are more supposed to be like stones that they tie around. That's why there's like the little thing. It's supposed to be like hanging, I think. But she uses it as like a throwing dagger, but it's not sharp. Yeah, Mira and Rumi's out. I mean, they're just different versions of like a naginata and spear and a classic sword, you know. But the Korean version.
Yeah. All right. A few things about talismans about shamans that create shields like the Honmoon. Honmoon, from one video I saw, was saying that it's not necessarily a part of Korean culture specifically, but it could be like a combination of words like shield and spirits, like a spirit shield. And they were talking about shamans that created shields of for protection, things like that. Let me see if I can see which channel, because they want to try and
K-pop
reference
Demon
people
Hunters is
as much as possible. So that's a channel called True Asia. That was talking about that. So yeah, there's definitely, I mean, there's so many. Oh, another channel I saw actually called Talk to Me in Korean. He's the guy that did the translations of the Korean lyrics, the parts in Korean, the lyrics that were in Korean. I think that channel is mostly about learning Korean. But yeah, talking about K-pop Demon Hunters, because why not? But yeah, no, there's so many theories and videos right now on YouTube, discussing various aspects and characters, and yeah, it's one of the reasons why I feel like this is going to be a film that people could be talking about for years to come, because there's already so much about it, and I feel like there's more that people haven't even discovered yet, so yeah, I feel like this could be a movie that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years from now, people could be still talking about it, talking about their theories. Who's that guy? Jared Bauer. He does those videos where he says something like, after 15 years, I finally understand this movie. Yeah, just watch 10, 15 years from now, he's going to have, after 15 years, I finally understand. You know what I mean? And he's going to be discussing all the things that nobody else noticed about it. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be a movie that could be talked about for many years to come. That's how I feel about it anyway. I could be wrong, of course, and only time will tell. But yeah, I think we've discussed a lot. Unless anything else you guys think we need to bring up about K-pop Demon Hunters.
I'm pretty tired.
It is pretty late, so yeah. And we discussed.
Shit, we went on long enough that you could watch the movie twice while listening to this.
We probably could actually. We probably could. It's a YouTube thing. 1 hour for every minute. But yeah, no, we talked a lot, and I think that's going to be all for this video. So yes, if you've watched and or listened this far, appreciate you. Let us know what you think about K-pop Demon Hunters and what we've said about it. Do you agree with anything? Do you disagree with anything? Do you have any other thoughts on it of your own? Let us know in the comments. Big up to Celeste, big up to Sweet. By the way, real quick, I saw your last video, Sweet Bundy. Like it was like a 7-minute video you put up. And I was like, okay, this is really cool. But you had like a picture of like a 50-year-old looking Tupac on there. I was like, why you got Tupac on this? Let's say this.
Is that I had to go to work. I had a lot of shit going on. So just real quick, I just had to, get an image together that matched, the tone of the song that was going up. So I did use Tupac as a model, but it's not his face. It's just it's just a random face of 2 other people. But yeah, the source of the picture is one of Tupac's.
Okay, yeah. Tupac. It looked like Tupac in like his 40s or 50s, like smoking a cigarette. Like, all right, that might be what he looks like if he well, rest in peace. But yeah, we'll end the podcast there. Thank you for watching and or listening, and until whenever, if ever, peace.